Raagas. इसे कहते हैं लॉन्ग नोट प्रैक्टिस। ओके, इसमें आपको गाना बहुत जरूरी है। बिना गाए क्या होता है ना, अगर मान लीजिए कि आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी थोड़ी शार्प है और क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा जोर से सुना जाता है, चूट बाजू में वैसे भी कान पूरा सॉफ्ट होता है, तो दिमाग को लगता है वही फ्रीक्वेंसी सही है। ओके, जब आप गाते हैं तो आपका ध्यान पूरा जाता है कान को लेके, बोल ये प है, यहाँ पे द है, यहाँ नी है। तो ऐसा रूल बनाना है कि 3 बार ब्लो करना है, 1 बार गाना है। मतलब 1 बार सा गाया, फिर 3 बार आप सा बजा सकते हैं, फिर वापिस चौथी बार में सा गाना ही है। बिना गाए कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं बजता। ऐसा नहीं कि हमको गाना नहीं इसलिए इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजाया, हमको वो गाने की रेंज नहीं आती हमारे गाने में, इसलिए हम इंस्ट्रूमेंट के थ्रू गाते हैं। ओके, इंस्ट्रूमेंट और गाना अंदर से यहाँ से तो सब एक ही होता है, तो इसलिए बिना गाए हम चीज़ों को बजा नहीं सकते। टेक्निकलिटीज ठीक है, आप अलंकार बजा दोगे क्योंकि वहाँ तो आपको फ्रीक्वेंसी से लेना देना नहीं, उसके नाम से ज़्यादा लेना देना। When we are playing the raga, then we have to have that frequency, that swar in our mind. Okay? Okay. So today we start with the theory for the ragas. Yes.
गुरुजी
हाँ जी सत्यजीत जी।
जी, ये थोड़ा लेट स्टार्ट हुआ है रिकॉर्डिंग, सो फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ पीपल हु विल वॉच दिस लेटर, क्या चल रहा है?
हाँ, so we played this long notes only from lower octave pa till the higher octave pa, each note more or less 5 minutes, let's say. So starting with the lower octave pa, blow lower octave pa 2 times, 3 times, then sing it, because singing is very important. Without singing, we may not judge the correct frequency of the note. Okay. So singing should be like try once after 3 times blowing. So we play 3 times pa, again sing 1 time, then again play 3 times pa. Then you move to the lower octave. Same thing, 5 minutes only the, then 5 minutes only ni. Accordingly, we reach up to the higher octave pa. Then there is no need of descending. Descending we just did normally. Otherwise, just playing each note, and when we go through all the notes, then we can relate that what exactly force is required. For lower octave, we require lesser force. For middle octave, it's moderate force. Higher octave, we have to be very soft. It should not be loud so much, because anyway the tendency of higher octave is to be loud. So we have to make it soft. And when we are in the lower octave, we should try to be loud, because anyway the lower octave tends to sound little is less in the amplitude. So the lower octave, while playing lower octave, we should be at the higher loudness. While playing the higher octave, we should try to keep the loudness less, softness, but tuning should be the perfect. And what is the best way to tune yourself is to sing. Okay, may not be good to watch this tuner, or those things are to tune the instrument, not the self. Okay, for tuning the self, only the key is vocal. Okay. Another very good thing we can do is that today we learn about Tanpura, that we can set that particular note that what we are playing. Suppose if you are playing the, you can set the with your Tanpura. So if you omit the and through listening that to that the, you can play it and sing it again. Okay. So the tuner is to tune the instrument, not to play. To play we have to tune ourselves. That is through vocal only. Okay.
So this was long note practice basically.
It was a long note practice, long notes practice. Each note we play for long times, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, this way. Okay, this should be the first practice of the day. Okay, every day when you start your practice, at least if you don't have much time, at least you give 2 minutes to each note. So we have 15 major notes. It will take 30 minutes, and the rest of 30 minutes you continue your routine practice like this. Okay, once it is done with the major note, then you can start introducing minor notes. Komal Daivat, Komal Nishad, Komal Rishabh, Komal Gandhar. Once it is done clearly with the major octaves, then only. Anybody wants to ask from the online participants? Okay. Now, so today our topic is Raga. Okay. So few definitions are there that we just hear and then we start with Alap, Jol, Jala and everyone. So first of all, the Raga. Okay. So there are many definitions. The word Raga is very wide. Okay. It's like the word mother. If we are supposed to give definition of mother, everybody will have their own definition. So Raga is like this. But technically we can say that Ranjayati iti Raga. So Ranjayati means the thing which creates the mood. Ranjayati means a feeling, mood. That is a raga. So in a more general way we can say to create a particular mood, what we play, that is a raga. Okay. That mood in our shastra, we call it as a ras. Okay. Different kind of moods, different kind of ras are there. Sadness, romantic, happiness, patriotic, okay, serious, all these things. So when we are playing a raga, our prime objective is to create that certain mood and sustain that mood. It should not be like sometimes it is sad, sometimes it is romantic. Okay, if it is sad, then you should constantly holding that feeling. Okay. Now, how to hold those feelings? See, actually, what is there which is creating this mood? The notes and the combination of the notes. Okay. So to sustain that mood, we have to fix the notes that we are taking. Okay. So in another way, in general technical way, we can say the raga is a fixed notes group which we can improvise ourselves. Okay. You can improvise in those selected notes. We cannot edit those notes. Okay. So for example, Bhupali, we know we have sa, re, ga, we have pa and dha. Okay. By taking these notes, you try to improvise them, and then it will go mostly into one direction that will create a certain mood. But if I start playing ma, if I start adding me, then it definitely divert the mood. That's why each raga has fixed notes and fixed characteristics. There are a set of protocols that we see later on. So this is the very first thing, that once we are saying that we are playing this or that raga, the one thing that should be very much clear that which notes that we are going to use during that raga and which note. Okay. According to that, we have the term jati of the raga. Okay. Now, what is the jati of the raga? See, first of all, we need to know that in classical music we have mainly two types of string: North Indian classical music and Carnatic classical. So, what I am discussing right now, that belongs to North Indian classical music only, because there are very many difference between this. Okay. So, in the North Indian classical music, there is a certain rule of taking the notes during the raga. The very first rule is that we cannot use the same version of one note of two different versions, like Komal Re and Sudra Re. We cannot take both one after another. Okay? Either you can take Komal Re or you can take Sudra Re. Chronologically. I cannot make a raga with Sa, then followed by Komal Re and Sudra Re and Ga. Either Komal Re or Sudra Re. But I can make one thing, that during ascending I will have Komal Re, during descending I can have Sudra Re. That is okay. But chronologically we cannot add the same name note of two different versions. Okay. So that means we can maximum have 7 notes. Though we have 12 notes, okay. But at a time in the raga, the maximum note possible are 7. Okay, because if you are taking komal re, then you are not going to take re, sudh re. If you are taking ga, then you are not going to take komal ga. Okay, so maximum notes can be 7. Now, during the raga, you cannot omit more than 2 notes. Okay, so that means what does it mean? That I cannot make a raga which not have re, which not have ga, which not have ma, or which not have re, ma, or ga. Okay, in notes Indian I'm talking about. So that means in any way you will minimum have 5 notes. Okay, so maximum 7, minimum 5 notes we can have. Okay, but you can alter the notes in your ascending and descending. Okay, it is not compulsory that if you have take 7 notes in ascending, then you have to have 7 notes in descending. That is not compulsory. You can have 7, you can have 6, you can have 5. Okay, so from this, now we can have 9 different possible combinations of the number of notes that we will have in the raga. That is, if I take 5 notes in ascending, 5 notes in descending, 5 in ascending, 6 notes in descending. Let's say if I say sa, re, ga, pa, dha, sa. Okay, so sa, re, ga, pa, da, sa. This sa is not a new next note, it's the same note. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes are there. The descending, I play sa, da, pa, ga, re, sa, same. So this is 5, 5. Now let's say, if I say that during ascending it's a sa, re, ga, pa, da, sa, during descending it's a sa, ni, da, pa, ga, re, sa, for example. Okay, if I add ni during descending, so it becomes 6. Okay, the same way I can say sa, re, ga, pa, da, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Okay, then it may be 5, 7. The same way, you can have 6 note in ascending, 5 in descending, 6 in ascending, 6 in descending, 6 in ascending, 7 in descending. Okay, like Kamash. Sa, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, doesn't have re in ascending. Descending sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, all 7 notes. And another combination is 7, 5. Okay, 7, 6, 7. So these are 9 possible combinations. That from this your raga must be having some of this combination only. Okay. So this is called the jati of the raga. So if somebody is saying the jati of the raga, it doesn't confirm that which notes are there. It only confirms how many notes are there in ascending and descending. Okay. So now in other words, for 5 we will use the word odav, ODAV or AUDAV. Okay. For 6 we will use the word shadow, SHADA. And for 7 we use word sampurna because it's the maximum we can go. Odav for 5, shadow for 6, sampurna for 7. Now according to that combination, suppose if I say 6 ascending, 6 in descending, so shadow, shadow. If 6 ascending, 7 descending, shadow, sampurna. 5 ascending, 5 descending, odav, odav, like this. Okay. So like a Bhupal is a odav, odav raga. Okay, like Desh is a odav sampurna raga. It doesn't have ga and the in ascending, while descending it has all 7 notes. Okay, so when you will go to the information of the raga, the very first thing you will be given is a which notes are there. And now after reading those notes or after understanding those notes, you should be able to conclude what will be the jati of this raga. Okay, so if you can see that 5 notes are there, 7 notes in descending, there is a odav sampurna raga. Okay. Now moving to the next. As I said earlier that to sustain one raga, you have to sustain that notes. Okay, this is a half true statement because in our Indian classical music there are so many raga which has the same ascending and same descending notes, like sa, re, ga, pa, da, sa. Okay, and descending same. This is a Bhupali, this is also Deshka. Okay. So now this conflict is there. If I say that note should be fixed and it should create certain mood, fixed mood, then how we have 2 different ragas? 2 different raga means 2 different mood. Then how is it possible? Is it possible because though we are taking the same notes for improvisation, again which note we are emphasizing more? Okay, that has that effect of that particular note. Suppose if in this playing, if I play re more during all my performance, so it will have extra characteristics added by re. Okay. Same with ga, same with pa, same with da. Okay. So during the raga, to sustain that mood, we also have to take care about the particular note that is the main note of the raga, what we call as a vadi swan. and another is a samvadiswar. Why we'll see why we require two different notes. So the vadiswar is the top important note of the raga. Now what we mean by important? So that means you will be staying more on that note. You will be using those notes more. Whenever you are trying to emphasize and we were trying to stay at some note, those notes will be given priority. Okay, so if I make a raga in which I will be staying more onto the ga, it will give some effect. And if I change the raga, if I make a same raga while playing, staying more onto the re, that will give a different effect. So that's why mentioning and no, this maintaining that Vadiswara and Savadiswara is very important, especially when you have the same raga. Like we have Puriya, we have Marwa, we have Sohini. Same RO, Niregama, Danisa, Sanidama, Niregama, yes, Danisa, Sanidama, Gare. If you stay more on Dha and Re, becomes Marwa. If you stay more on Ga and Ni, becomes Puriya. And if you try to stay more on higher octave Sa, becomes Sohini. Okay. So these characteristics from the very first blow or for the very first phrase that you are playing, you have to maintain. Suppose if I am trying to play Marwa, but I started staying more onto Ni, Sa, Ni. From there only the rag will fly. The rag won't exist there. Okay. So these are the considerations we have to take while playing the raga. But obviously at the beginning everything may not become. But with the time when you will play the nearby ragas, then you will understand what is the importance of these things. Okay. When you have played 2, 3 ragas which are very similar in their nature, but then you will realize, okay, if I do this, then this is this raga. If I do that, then this is this raga. Okay, then it will be naturally maintained. You don't need to focus so much. It will maintain naturally. But few things are there which is already given during the this theory of the raga that you should focus on. Now, why we need a Vadiswar and Samadhi? See, the sargam we have sa re ga ma pa dha ni and this. So this you can divide in these two parts. One is a sa re ga ma, another is a ma pa dha ni. Okay, so ma is because it's a middle. That's why it's called madhyam. So it's a middle. So this part of sargam is the first half. What we call as a purvang. Purva ang. Purva means first, ang means part, first half. And this mapadani is a uttarang. Okay. Uttar means the next, second. Okay, uttarang. So, if the Vadiswar is from Saregama, that means from Purvang, your Samadhiswar has to from Uttarang. Otherwise, you will never go this side of the raga. Okay, only you will be, if my Vadi is Re, Samadhi is Ga, I will be just roaming in this Sarega only. Okay, it's like having two states. Then you have once, if you are in this state, then this is your home. If you are staying this state, then this is your home. Okay, so always, if your Vadi is from Saregama, your Samadhi will be from Mapadani, and the vice versa. If your Vadi is from Mapadani, your Samadhi from Saregama. Okay, now this is a very actually important information of the raga. Suppose if my Vadi is Ga, that means my this is a Purvam, that means my rag will always try to come down. Whenever whatever I play, I will try to come down because I want to stay on Ga. Like Bhupali, when I play something. Sa re ga pa dha pa re ga. Okay. And suppose my Vadi is Dha, let's say, then my tendency of playing the raga would be it will always try to lift you toward the second half of the raga. And that is the main characteristics of the raga, that whether your raga is trying to folding down towards down sa or it is trying to rise up towards ma, pa, dha or ni. That raga is called Purvang Pradhan or Uttarang Pradhan raga. And that is the difference between Bhupali and Desh raga. When we play Bhupali, it's a Purvang Pradhan because the Vadi is Ga. It's always trying to bring you down. And when you play this Deshka, it's a morning raga. It's like a waking up. It's always trying to take you to the pa, to the dha. Okay. So even if I play the same notes of Bhupali, it won't sound like a Bhupali. It will sound like Bhupali like this. called Purvang Pradhan and Uttarang Pradhan Raga. So when we are going to play a raga or learning the raga, this thing should be very much clear that whether this raga is a Purvang Pradhan or whether this raga is a Uttarang Pradhan. So another example of Uttarang Pradhan raga is a Durga. Okay, the Durga has very similar scale like Upali. Instead of the, there we have Ma. Sare Ma Padas. Okay. Many people, I have heard many people saying then, okay, you just make Ga to Ma, that becomes Durga. Okay, but it's technically, no. But it's not like that if you play everything like Sare Ma Pa, that becomes Durga. If I play this, so technically it's a Durga. But Durga has a Vadi as a Pa. Okay, that means it's a Uttarang Pradhan Raga. It will always try to rise towards Pa, like this. It will not go and rest on Ma, it will not go and rest on Re or Sa. Okay? Because its nature is to go towards Pa.
सर जो वादी है वो बस एंड में बसता है या फिर मिडिल में भी आप रेस्ट कर सकते हैं?
मिडिल में भी रेस्ट कर सकते हैं, बट वो दिखाता है कि आपको कौन से रीजन में ज्यादा रहना है. सपोज इफ माई वादी इज गा, देन मैं कहीं पे भी जाऊँ घूम के यहीं आऊंगा. ओके, सो इट्स लाइक अ मोस्ट ऑफ होल्डिंग नोट्स. हम उसे कहते हैं न्यास स्वर, जिसपे आप द नोट विल यू विल स्टे मोर. बट वी कैन स्टार्ट द फ्रेज विद दैट नोट आल्सो. आप उससे शुरू करके घूम के वापस उस पे भी आ सकते हैं. दैट इज पॉसिबल.
तो लास्ट में सर वादी में ही ऐसा एंड करना होता
नॉट नेसेसरी, ऐसा नहीं कि 100% वो वहीं पे जाएगा. उसके अलावा भी है, संवादी भी तो है जाने के लिए.
स्वर में एंड करता है.
हाँ, दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक. रह स्वर इज अ वादी स्वर और न्यास स्वर जिसको हम बोलते हैं.
सा को ग्रह स्वर बोलेगा.
सा एक्चुअली ऐसा स्वर है जहां से हर चीजें शुरू होती है एंड व्हेन वी वांट टू कंक्लूड अगेन वी गो बैक टू सा. जैसे आप कोई एक स्वर का इंप्रोवाइजेशन कर रहे हैं, नाउ वी वांट टू मूव टू द नेक्स्ट नोट. बिफोर दैट यू कंक्लूड इट. इट्स लाइक अ कंक्लूडिंग नोट.
That is not called grah swar is vadi swar.
I think so. I will go through the specific word graha swar, but as that.
Vadi is a subset of Nyas swar. Nyas can be many.
हाँ, Nyas can be many notes. During the raga, we can Nyas on Vadi, Samvadi, like in some other notes also. But mostly we will be staying on Vadi swar and Samvadi.
So when we playing compositions,
Yes.
should the Vadi swar come
On the sum.
on the sound?
People they say like that, but we have so many composition and we even go through the composition where the Vadi is not there on the sum.
Ah.
So that is not important.
Important.
But it can help you to compose a good composition.
Oh, yes.
If you are in a hurry and you just want to make a fatavat one composition, then you can rely on that. Okay, anyhow you take ga onto the sum and it will be good composition for Upal. But even though if we have a good phrase that justifies the raga, okay, and we are having sum on pa, no problem. Okay, it should justify that this phrase says it's a Upali like this. But it's a very nice phrase. When we compose a composition, mostly the people they have this mentality that during the sum means a beat which is most important. While composing a composition, there should be a vadi. That is almost true. But without those notes also, we can make a composition which can be same good composition for that rag. Okay. So main thing is to know whether your rag is Purvang Pradhan or Uttarang Pradhan. It is a very important practice. Okay.
In that Durga composition,
Uttarang Pradhan. Re re pa pa da ma pa da da. Like this. It will always try to go towards da, towards pa. Okay. Like ga re ni sa ma pa. Pimpalas. We played yesterday. This one. Always try to stay on ma or pa, ma or pa. Okay, so the started with jati, that is some Odav, Shadav, Sampurna, all these things. Then Vadi, Samvadi, then rag, whether your rag is Purvang Pradhan or Uttarang Pradhan rag, followed by what is next? the time and the mood of the raga. Okay, see, all these protocols that we are so much being serious about is just to create and sustain that mood particularly. Okay, so that is called the ras or the mood of the raga. Okay, like when we play a Vimpalas, that means it will give you the patriotic feel. You know, this Veer ras, what we say. When you play Bhupali, it will give you bhakti ras, devotional. So that's why we have so much bhajans made of Bhupali. Same with Desh is a devotional rag. So see, actually, what I think, what I believe is that before this, no, this raga theory, it was just like a melodies that was popular. Like in the temple, if you go, there's morning aarti is a different, evening aarti is a different. Their melodies are different. From those melodies, we discover that okay, we feel good this kind of sound at this particular time, and will feel good with this kind of sound at that particular time. From there we derive this kind of theory that okay, in the morning you play this notes of combination, this combination of the notes, and in the evening you play this combination of the notes. And from there I think we derive the raga. Okay, because of course there was no raga before. It was only music, normal music like folk music, okay, or devotional music maybe. And then after few this good people and maybe the smart people, they try to catch that mood that okay, we want anyhow to hold this mood, and then for that we need to know we have to make some format which can sustain this mood, and we can deliver it to the next generation. And from there this raga theories all this comes that okay, this is this raga, this note will give this feeling. Okay, so what exactly I want to say is that when you are playing some raga, giving some feeling, that is there is some time associated with that. Okay, like the serious mood. So that's for good for the morning, not for the afternoon. Okay, not for the other time. At the evening time when we are tired of our hard working, then there we need something very peaceful. That time the serious is not required then. Okay, so the each raga has one particular feeling or more than one feeling, and because of that it is associated with some time that is in our day-to-day life cycle like morning, afternoon, evening, night, late night, early morning, sunset, sunrise, all those things. So all those raga depending on their mood, they are given the particular time slot to play or perform, not for the practice. To practice you can play any raga 24/7, that's not a problem. But when you perform, because when we are performing for the audience who have come to listen us. And then we have to take care about that mood in particular time. Okay, again this time theory, I think, I am not much sure, but it's not there in a Karnataki music. I am not sure. But we strongly follow this time theory because when we perform, we have to have, if we are performing morning, it should be morning raga, and if it is evening, then it should be evening raga. So that time is divided into prahar. Okay? So prahar. Prahar is a period of 3 hours. Okay. So we have 8 prahar in a day, 24, 3 to 8, 24 hours. Okay. So 8 prahar in a day, out of 8 we make 4 prahar of morning, 4 prahar of evening. Okay. So we divide them like this. First prahar of morning, second, third, fourth. Then after fourth, the first prahar of evening, second, third, and fourth. Okay. Now, what is the exact starting time if you want to conclude it, if you want to convert it to the normal this watch, then it is depending on the sunrise at your level. Suppose generally the people say it's a 4 o'clock. Okay, but 4 o'clock maybe for them where is a sunrise around 4, 4:30 or maybe 5 o'clock. Okay, for some part of India, even like this like Gujarat and all that, they have sunrise at around 6, 6:30. So for them, they can also follow this cycle as a 6 o'clock onwards. So 6 to 9 is the first prayer, 9 to 12 is the second prayer. In general, we consider them as a 4 o'clock. Okay, it totally depends on your sunrise. So entire music depends on the sun. Okay, from starting to ending, everything is belonging to them. Right? So suppose we take 4 o'clock as an example. So 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the morning first hour, first prayer. Then 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. that is morning second prayer. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. which is right now going on. That is morning or afternoon third prayer we can say. And 3 p.m. to this 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. is a morning or afternoon fourth prayer. After 4 o'clock p.m. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the evening first prayer. Okay. 7 to 10 is a evening second prayer, 10 to 1 is a night first prayer, we can say, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. The same as 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. Okay. So whenever we play raga, we should have this information that whether this raga belongs to evening raga or so. If it is a evening first prayer, you can take it to maximum evening second prayer. That's okay. But if it is a evening first prayer, you are playing it morning, it may not good. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, actually, all the raga has that associated more with the time. Suppose like a Bhimpalasi. So Bhimpalasi has a Veer Ras. The Veer Ras what we mean by heroic. Like this. So that exactly the time of playing Bhimpalasi is exactly at the sunset. I tell you the reason why it's like that. But during those these wars, with the wild time of kings and everything. At the sunrise, at the sunset, they finish the war. Whatever it is, you have to finish. And at that time, whatever the people who have left their lives to save the country or whatever, to sing their stories, what kind of mood should be there and what kind of note should be there. That is the feeling that Vimpalasi gives. Okay, so when we play Vimpalasi, it creates that kind of mood. So that is only suitable at the sunset. Okay, when you are at the starting your day and you are feeling that sadness in your heart, you are already gone before starting your day. It's like that. Okay. Same like a Bhairav. So Bhairav has that Komal Rishabh, very Komal, that it is showing that Sa to Komal is just slightly up. It shows the movement of the sun. It is rising. Okay. Even you just increase slightly percentage of Komal ray, it becomes not that particular Bhairav. Okay. So because of that thing we have that timing theory, that raga is there to totally consider with the nature. And if you will change that timing, then there is no meaning of making these things. Okay?
So, sir, does Swara has any, each Swara has any mood?
Yes, each note has a mood, but that mood is actually that relative things. If I play Komal Gandhar, it's a normal. If I play the Komal Gandhar with Rishabh, it will sound soul. If I play Komal Gandhar with Sa, it will sound heroic. Okay, so we cannot define a particular mood of that note because along with which it is combining, that creates actually the mood. Okay. So it's like combination of notes that creates, that's the raga ultimately. But we cannot say, okay, Komal Gandhar is always sad. No. You say it can be a hero, it can be a romantic. Like in Kirwani, it's a romantic raga, which is Komal Gandhar. So it depends on what are the other ingredients like this. Right? Now moving to the next. So you can write the first is the mood of the raga. It can have 9 different moods. Okay. Only few ragas like Bhairavi and Yaman, which has all the moods or which has the capability to create all kind of moods. Otherwise, all the ragas they have certain fixed mood. Okay. It either is a serious raga or it is like this or that. But only Bhairavi and Yaman, you can play anything. It's like rainbow. You can make any color out of them. And that's why they are the king of the raga. And they have totally different time. Bhairavi is the morning raga, Yaman is the evening raga. So that's why we always tell people to practice. If you want to just practice 2 raga, then choose Bhairavi and Yaman. All these things come under these 2 ragas.
अगर यमन हर एक मूड को क्रिएट करता है,
Yes.
वो मॉर्निंग मूड भी क्रिएट कर सकता है वो।
It does.
सुबह भी उसको
कर सकते हैं, बट इसकी एक अपनी छाया जो है, जैसे भैरवी वो कभी भी बजा सकते हैं, बट एक्चुअली उसका जो नॉर्मल नेचर है वो मॉर्निंग का उसका नेचर, लेकिन रात को भी बजता है, दिन में 24 घंटा भैरवी तो बजता है, सेम भी यमन। तो यमन बजाते हैं लोग कभी कभी, दोपहर को भी बजाते हैं, बट एक सेट हो गया है कि भाई वो शाम का राग है, तो इसलिए वो जनरली अवॉइड करते हैं कि और कोई मत बजाओ उसमें। ओके, देन व्हाट इज नेक्स्ट, और क्या होता है राग में? ठाट। और उसके अलावा और भी कुछ है तो पहले वो डिस्कस करते हैं।
वादी संवादी
हाँ।
जैसे एक नोट ना होता है, ऐसे भी है क्या कि they can be 2 or more such can be combined to become वादी संवादी सा होता है?
They are always separated with at least 2-3 notes apart. Like if the Vadi is from this, then they have to be some Vadi. Otherwise, as I said, we won't go that place at all. If my Sa and Ga is Vadi Samvadi, then we'll keep on playing this Sa Re Ga only like this. But Sa and Ma are Vadi Samvadi for many things. Mostly that time Ma will be mostly the Vadi and the Raga will be Uttarang Pada in that case. Mostly. And what I was going to say?
सर विवादी स्वर क्या है?
Vivadi Swar are like Now, when it is note is there with some extent, like commonly in Desh, when we play. Like if the by default the knee is Sud. Only when you come down it's a common. Like this Bihar. Tivra Madhya is a Vivadi swan. Ni sa ga ma pa ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma ga. Even you don't play Tivra Madhya, okay. Sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. But if you are adding some the note which is slightly there, that is called mostly Vivadi swan like this. Yeah, another thing was I was saying pakkad. That is very important. So pakkad of the raga. See, there are two terminology. There is one is a pakkad and one is a chalan. Okay. So chalan is a protocols or we can say a set of rules. Okay, you should do this. You should not do this. So chalan is like a rules. The pakkad is the example of that. Okay. Suppose if I say for Bhupali, you stay more onto the ga. You take always pa to re to ga. Okay, all these lines that I am telling, these are the chalan of the raga. But these are the statements. And then we want one example which proves all these statements. So I will say sa da sa re ga pa re ga ga sa da sa re ga कहाँ पे रुके गा पे रुके पारेगा अभी पा से ग सीधा जा सकते थे लेकिन फिर भी राउंड लेके गए मतलब कि इसमें ऐसा राउंड होके जाने की टेंडेंसी है इस राग में ग रे ध र सा और दूसरा कहाँ पे रुके ध पे रुके सा पे तो वैसे भी चीजें एंड होती है तो द इसका समरी तो एक ऐसा फ्रेज विच passes the vital information of the raga that you should be staying on this note more. These are the more characteristics phrase that you should be doing. Pa re ga da pa re ga. Now instead of ga re sa you go ga re dha sa. Okay. So re से द होकर ही सा जाना. एक आध बार रे से सा चले गए तो ठीक है. But mostly आपको द होकर सा जाना. तो ये सब जो मैं एक प्रोटोकॉल्स बता रहा हूँ दिस कॉल्ड द चलन ऑफ द रागा द पकड़ इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट कि भाई ये ऐसा साउंड करेगा ओके सो ऑल इवन दिस वादी स्वर इज दैट समाधि स्वर दिस ऑल आर द चलन ऑफ द रागा बट इन जनरल चलन मींस दैट दिस थिंग्स एवरीबॉडी नोस व्हाट एक्स्ट्रा दैट यू शुड डू as I said in Bhupali you should go from pa to re to ga this is something which is you won't find here that is something you get it through either the teacher or you get it through the listening and by after playing you will know okay, to sustain this raga this type of combinations we should be doing more okay? So that is called chalan and another is a pakad so when you are going to play the raga the very vital things what are those first is the aroha second is a pakad okay if you know these two things everything you can derive from that what is a vadi what is samvadi what is the mode what should be the time everything you can get out of this only two things you should be knowing aroha and the pakkad of that raga. Okay. Now the pakkad may differ slightly from person to person. Okay. Because it's a example of the protocols, not a perfect phrase that everybody has to follow. Okay. As I said, okay, the pakkad of Bhupali is sa da sa re ga pa re ga. Somebody say ga re sa da sa re ga pa re ga. And then the same thing they are saying. Their ingredients or their way of delivering the things are a little different. Okay, so don't be that strict that okay, why these are two different pakkads of the raga. It's like not two different pakkads, it's like two different explanation of those rules of the raga. Okay, and lastly the third theory. That is very complicated. Why I would say, see, first of the many times the definition that we are given that is very complicated and that is misleading most of the time. So I would like to know what is in your mind about the thought. How you will describe a thought. What is a thought?
It's a group of ragas which has similar characteristics.
Correct. What is that similar characteristic? What similarities? Like Vadi swar or Samvadi swar or Komal note? What is that you will familiar in them? That is the problem.
I know, but when we tell about 10 thought,
Correct.
at least we are able to tell these are the notes coming in this rag.
No, may not be because see, if I say Bhupali belong to Kalyan Thought, Yaman. Kalyan means Yaman.
बिलावल में सब शुद्ध नोट है इसमें शुद्ध नोट है तो बिलावल होना चाहिए मगर
Correct.
कल्याण
So that is the problem. See, what I give you the different example. Suppose you have a one folder in which you have sad songs, romantic songs, patriotic songs, all different kind of songs. Okay. So every time you want to see, listen to the particular song, you go to that folder and then you will search everything. So what you can make, that is make more different folders in that semi folder. Okay. Then you give patriotic, sad song, romantic, and then you put those songs directly into that. And so that when you go, you can access directly. Okay. On this kind of basic, they try to develop a thought theory, but actually it's not going like that, because as I said, there is something fixed. What is that fixed? There's a mood. Okay, depending on the mood, you are going to bifurcate the things. But when I say this raga belongs to that thought, so there can be many things. It can be as sir said, it can be this minor notes can be, or the notes that you have. Suppose if you have all the major notes, that raga is a beloved. Okay, that's a thought also. Okay. Suppose you have only commonly, it's a kamach. Suppose you have commonly, it's a kafi. Like in a Vrindavan, Sani is a Sani Komal, no at all. Though it will okay. So there is no certain rule. Okay, by this characteristics. Now, for example of Bhupali. Okay. So Bhupali has a sa, re, ga, pa, dha, sa. It belongs to the thought we say is a Kalyan, which is actually Yaman. Okay. So Yaman has this one: mi, re, ga, ma, tivra, dha, mi, sa. Now, what similarities you find in these two? Nothing. It has Sivrama, it has Noma. It has a very strong knee and ga. It has a strong ga, but there is no knee at all. Okay. I tell you what is the similarity. It is a similarity of pa, re, ga. Only because of this phrase, pa, re, ga, which is also there in Yaman. We play this in a Bhupali. We say this raga belongs to this thing. Okay. So what I want to say is, this is somewhat a theoretical concept which came very after, like maybe 100 years ago, not more. So if you are knowing or if you are claiming that this raga belongs to this thought, then you should be know why. Okay. Now I tell you that why this sarang belongs to kafi thought, not to the khamaj thought, because khamaj is only commonly, which is there only commonly, but khamaj is a very strong ga, which is not there in a sarang. Okay. And Kafi has a Komal Ga, but Komal Ga is Varjit here, so you don't need to worry about Komal Ga. So there are some multiple rings of these things that you can, you should be very much sure when you are claiming about the thought. If you don't know what rag belongs to what thought, doesn't matter at all. Okay, it's like just extra added information with the time, like by the musicologists we would say. Okay, so ultimately I tell you what are there. So let's say you have 200 ragas. Out of 200 ragas, you took out 10 ragas whose note combination are totally different from each other. Like the first is all major notes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. This is beloved. Then you take one minor note, which is tivra madhyam. Okay. Sa, re, ga, tivra madhyam, pa, da, ni, sa. That is jaman. What people say kalyan. Then you take only common ni. Okay, sa, re. Actually, it's not a sa, re, ga, ma. It's a sa, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Khamach. Sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. That is khamach tha. Then with Komal Ka, Komalni, it's a Kafi. Then with Komal Re, Komal Da, it's a Bhairav. So we took 10 such raga which has totally different aro avro among them. Okay. So now you put those 10 ragas on the table. Now whatever 190 raga that you have, okay, you listen to that raga and then you listen to that 10 ragas, and then you decide which raga is more similar to this out of this 10 raga, and then you assign that raga belong to them. This kind of theories. There are many raga, yet they are not define any thought, like a Patadip. So Patadip has a Mi, Sa, Komal Ga, Ma, Pa, Sudani, Sa. Now we don't have any thought which has only Komal Ga. Okay, when there is a Komal Ga, there is a Komal, but it has a Sudani. Okay. So this kind of problems are there. So don't worry about the thought theory. And again, that very old definition, thought is the father of the raga and mother of the raga. It's not like that at all. Few ragas are even ancient than the thought ragas. So it's just like a bifurcation they try to did, but didn't went successful. At least for me, I didn't find it successful. I don't know about others. So if you claiming any raga belongs to any thought, then you should be knowing why. For that you need to learn that raga and that parent raga so much. Maybe then you find some connection. Okay.
Sir, what about the Ahir Bhairav and the Kirwan? That's
Ahir Bhairav, because of its strong Saregama part, we should say it belongs to Bhairav thak. Kirivani doesn't belong to any thak, like a Patiji. Because this Komalga with Komalda, we don't have any thak like this. With Komalda and Komalni, we can say that is a Asavali. Okay, but with Komalda only, we don't have this kind of thing. So that's what I am saying. If you are making something which is not even successful for one person, then what you are claiming, that is not correct. If I am making a rule, universal rule, it has to be applied to each and everything. If it is not applicable for 2-3 things, then how it can be universal? So same like the third theory. Okay? Anything that I forget to discuss about raga or something? There is one more very important terminology that we just skip actually. That when we say Odo Sampun, let's say, suppose I take example of Bihar. We just discussed Bihar. So what is the ascending of Bihar? Ni, sa, ga, ma, pa, ni, or sa. Okay, this is not mandatory you start with ni. You can start with the sa also. Okay, so don't get confused why it is starting from ni. If you can start from sa, it's the same thing. Now what is the descending? Sa, ni, ha, pa, it will align the mappa gamaga. But for now, we just for the simplicity we take it without tibram. So sa di da pa ma ga re sa. Okay. So now out of this ascending and descending, how many notes are there in ascending? 5. Okay. If you count ni is a 1, sa is a 2, ga is a 3, ma is a 4, pa is a 5. Again, ni is the same note. You have just changed the octave. It is not a 6th note or 7th note. Okay. If there is a da, there is a 6th note. Okay, so it's only 5 notes. So 5 in ascending and 7 in descending. So it's a order something. Okay, that's okay. Now, in other words, we can say that dha and re are omitted in ascending. Okay, present in descending. Okay, the same statement I am giving. That dha and re are omitted, varjit in ascending, but it's present in a descending. Okay. It's very easy to statement this, but how you will maintain this during the raga? आपने ये बोल दिया कि रे एंड द वर्जित है आरो में, लेकिन औरों में है, बट उसको मेंटेन कैसे करेंगे? When you will play the raga, you are not going to play only this ascending, descending, ascending, descending. So there will be like a rocket going, anything from anywhere. There, how you will define that whether your re and the placement of the is correct there, or whether it is not correct there. Okay. So see. Here, what is the statement that dha and re should not be in the ascending, okay, while playing the raga. Now, how to define whether your note is in ascending or descending at that particular time? Okay. Suppose I want to check with this dha. To check its ascending or descending characteristics, you always look at the following note. If the following note is higher, suppose ni, then your dha is in ascending, which is not allowed in this raga. Okay. Then what can be other option? If the following note is lower than the, let's say it's a pa or ma ga or anything which is lower than ga, then at that time your ga is in a descending. Okay. So whenever you are playing bihar, you can play ga, but after playing ga, you cannot go higher. Okay. What it is trying to say. Okay. Now same with the re. If I play re, then I can play sa. That's okay. I can play lower octave mi, I can play lower octave, everything is good. After playing re, I cannot play ga. Okay, I cannot play ma. Okay. Suppose if I play this one, mi, sa, re. Now tell me whether this phrase is good or not for this particular raga.
No.
Why?
नो नो, क्योंकि रे अवरों में रे नहीं है, इसलिए सा के बाद में रे नहीं ले सकता.
Most of the people they are saying that because it's re is in ascending. Fine. That's what you are trying to say, Rohit ji.
There is no
जी
note
जी
after
सर, जी.
Yes. Correct.
सर एक और सवाल था सर.
हाँ जी.
सर एक और प्रश्न था.
I got your answer. See, what I am saying is.
एक और क्वेश्चन था सर. मैं बोल रहा था.
Okay, हाँ जी, प्लीज बताइए.
सर इसका जैसे अवरोह लिखा है हमने, तो नी से स्टार्ट किया है, वो
हाँ.
लोअर ऑक्टेव का नी है.
हाँ.
तो ऐसे हम बजाते टाइम तो लोअर ऑक्टेव का प और ध भी बजाएंगे, तो फिर नी को लिखने का क्या तात्पर्य है यहाँ पे? हमने सिर्फ पांच।
यहाँ भी तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये सिर्फ राग को अच्छा लगता है करके हम निशा गमा पनिसा ऐसा बोलते हैं।
हाँ, बिकॉज जो पांच स्वर हैं वही
आप सा से भी
अनुच्छेद
शुरू कर सकते हैं, नॉट अ
सा से
प्रॉब्लम।
भी शुरू कर दो। ठीक है, ठीक है, ओके।
हाँ, आप निशा गमा पनिसा बोलिए, सा गमा पनिसा, इट्स द सेम थिंग, नो डिफरेंस।
हाँ, क्योंकि नी के नीचे भी तो जाएंगे ही, वो स्वर तो नहीं लिख रहे हैं हम, बजाते टाइम तो हम
हाँ,
हायर ऑक्टेव में भी
वो
जाएंगे।
ये भी इसलिए नहीं लेते हैं क्योंकि वो 7 स्वर हो जाते हैं ना, तो वो थोड़ा बैलेंस सुनाई देता है, क्योंकि हमको आदत है सारे गमा पद निशा ऐसा, तो निशा गमा पनिसा, इसलिए
ओके,
जस्ट टू शो दैट, अदरवाइज इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी टू टेक नी देयर बिफोर सा।
ठीक है, समझ गया।
हाँ, अभी देखिए इन दिस फ्रेज, अगर इसको निशारे देखकर आपको लगता है कि रे असेंडिंग में है, देन इट इज नॉट देयर, ओके। नी असेंडिंग में है, क्यों? क्योंकि उसके बाद जो सा बजा इट्स हायर, ओके, सो नी इज इन असेंडिंग, सा भी असेंडिंग में है, व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज फॉलोड बाय रे व्हिच इज हायर देन सा, सो दिस इज आल्सो असेंडिंग। नाउ टू क्लेम रे इज इन असेंडिंग, यू हैव टू हैव अ फॉलोइंग नोट वेरी फर्स्ट। आपके पास तो फॉलोइंग नोट ही नहीं है यहाँ पे, फाइन। सो दैट मींस रे अभी न्यूट्रल है, इज नाइदर इन असेंडिंग नॉर इन डिसेंडिंग, ओके। अभी रे के बाद अगर मैं सा कर दूं तो स्टेटमेंट चेंज हो जाएगा, है ना, या रे के बाद ग कर दूं तो बात बदल जाएगी, पर यहाँ तो रे के बाद कुछ हमने बजाया ही नहीं। तो ऐसा जब कोई रूल किसी राग में होता है, किसी स्वर पे होता है, तो उस स्वर तक तो हम जा ही सकते हैं, फिर उससे आगे जाना है या नहीं, और अगर जाना है तो कौन से स्वर पे जाना है, ये आपका सब्जेक्ट होना चाहिए सोचने का, ओके। दैट सेम लाइक ध, आई कैन प्ले गामा pada in a bihag also, no problem, okay, but what I can not play gamma pada ni, okay, I can play pada in a bihag, there is nothing wrong, because it takes pa into the ascending, not dha, there is nothing after dha here, okay. So when there is a such kind of rules that this note is not available, this note is not in ascending or not present in descending, there you always follow its following note, from that only you can know. I take one more example which is very much in a practice, Rag Yaman. What is the ascending of Rag Yaman? See, the first and theoretical ascending of the Yaman is Sare Gama Pada with Tivra Madhya only. Okay. And the same is the descending. It's a Sampurna Raga by theory. But we don't play this raga like this because in this case it will match with so many other ragas, and then we would not be able to maintain its characteristics. Okay, so theoretically it's a Sampurna Saregama. But actually when we play the raga, now we have maintained that this characteristic that you omit sa and pa while ascending only. Okay, in descending you can keep. So if I take sa out of this, okay, now to just show that sa is not there, I am playing ni here. Okay. So if I am going ni to re without sa, that means sa is omitted. So same, the pa is not here. So now this is ni re ga ma dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Clear? Now if I play ni re ga ma pa, whether it is a good or phrase or not,
It is
should
good.
it is played or not? Yes. Why? Because see, first of all, when there is a pa and when there is a sa, you only focus on them. These all notes are possible in ascending, descending both. So after pa, there is nothing to play. That means pa is still in the neutral position, so that we can play. But if I play ni re ga ma pa dha,
No.
that is not allowed. Okay, or if I play ni re ga ma pa ni, which is not allowed. What I can do if I want to play something, then you can play ni re ga ma pa ma, or ni re ga ma pa ga, ni re ga ma pa re. All these are, they are going down from pa. That brings pa into descending. And same with the sa. If I play ni sa, there is nothing wrong. Okay, it's a good phrase. If I play ni sa re, that is a problem. Okay, if I play dha ni sa, nothing wrong. Okay, if I play dhani sa re, that is a problem. Okay, so you try to understand this characteristic. This is a very important, because hardly you will find a rag which has the same ascending and descending like Upali or Durga Okay, otherwise most of the ragas are like this. That this note is present in ascending but not in descending. Present in descending.
सा से कम नोट जाऊंगा धा नी सा फिर वापस नी में आऊंगा.
Now if you want to go, suppose you have played Dhanisa, then anyway you want to go to Re, what you can do? You can go to Ni, then you omit Sa and go to Re. Like this. Okay, Dhanisa,
सा
Ni, like this. हाँ जी.
सर सा अगर 2 बार लेंगे तो उसको वो
वो तो
वर्जित है या
सा इज फॉलोड बाय सा, मतलब अभी आप तो ऊपर तो नहीं गए. सेम.
तो वो ठीक है.
हाँ, बिकॉज देखा सा से ऊपर उठना मना है ना.
ऊपर उठना हाँ,
7 से
सेम
7
नीचे
हम तो
जा
उसी
सकता है.
लेवल पर है अभी.
ठीक है ठीक है.
अगर आप सा 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 करके छोड़ भी देंगे तभी भी ठीक है, वो तो एक ही लेवल पे. सा 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 रे किया वो गलत है.
ठीक है
है
समझ
ना.
गया.
अगर आप सा 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 करके नी गए तभी भी ठीक है, सा
तो
सा
ठीक
सा ग भी ठीक है, सब ठीक है.
ठीक है समझ गया.
ओके, तो ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स को समझना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ विल ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन which raga you want to play. It should be like this kind of raga where you have so many things to consider.
So there is one question, if I may ask.
Sir.
Quite often one comes across a couple of classifications like the ragas and the raginis. That is one.
Correct.
And sometimes you also have this, I think the principal ragas, for example, they talk about Shri, Bhairav, Deepak, Megh, Malkauns, and possibly Indol.
Yes.
And then, so my confusion is that what is the difference between raga and ragini? And when you have these 6 so-called principal rags, what does that mean? Like remaining things are not ragas, or how does that work?
No, see, those 5 ragas that is there, in this shastras that we generally do, these are the more important raga.
Right.
For those who were singing those ruchas,
Right.
in those times.
Right.
So, due to that, they thought, okay, these are the primary ragas, because
Okay.
whatever the ruchas or other Vedas and those, so if it is like something which is related to Bhairav, mood of Bhairav, they would sing with the Bhairav. Which is
Right.
something with mood of Malkauns, they would sing with Malkauns. So in those days, those ragas were more popular, by this, this maybe the sense, or maybe this this all those intellectual.
Artists.
Yes, and that's how they claim that these ragas are the major ragas, but actually
Okay.
it's not that like this.
Okay.
Okay, and now coming over that rag and ragini, this what I suppose is that rag and ragini is like a same word that we sometimes we just take 2 times, like khana wana khaya ki nahi.
Right. Okay.
It's like that. Rag ragini khaya ki nahi.
Okay.
So that is the one reason that I find, and the name of the raga is carrying that is a masculine or a feminine, like Bhairav.
Right.
It's like masculine. Bhairavi, it's a feminine.
Right.
Okay. So if I say raga, Bhairav raga, then it is a suitable. If I say Bhairavi, then it may be ragini.
Okay.
It's like that. So like a male female name of
Okay.
that. Otherwise there is no any technically any difference. It's not like that the raga is more classical and the ragini is semi-classical.
Right.
It's not like that.
Right.
So that's just like with the time the word generated, just
Okay.
in routine.
Okay. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Okay, let's we go with the Bihar. Okay, because it's very popular raga also. There. So ascending is Ni, Sa, Ga, Ma, Pa, Ni, Sa. Descending is Sa, Ni, Dha, Pa. For now we take it as a Ma, Ga, Te, Sa. Now are not allowed in ascending. Okay.
So एक बार बोल दिया ascending order.
Nisa, Gama, Pa, Nisa. All major notes. The descending is Sani, Dapa, Magaresa. Suddhma. So order some point. Sani, Dapa, Magaresa. So as we just discussed about the Re and Dha, that they are not allowed in ascending, we'll go through some Alankar practice. Okay, to get this thing even better. Fine. Suppose I take Alankar 1, 2, 3. This pattern I will go through 1, 2, 3. Starting from lower octave Pa and it will end on higher octave Pa. Now what will be the first phrase from 1, 2, 3 as a Pa in the Bihar? Pa, Pa, Ni, Sa. There will not take Pa, Dha, Ni. Why? Because if you take Dha, like if you take pa, dha, ni, the dha is followed by ni, which is taking dha into ascending, which is not allowed. Okay? So your first phrase will be pa, ni, sa. Okay? Now, what is next? There are two possibilities. Either we go ni, sa, re, either we go ni, sa, ga. Okay? Now, if you are saying that re will not be allowed because it sounds like ascending, then still re is not in yet ascending. Now to discover whether it is an ascending or descending, we need to know what will be the next after re. So tell me, if I play Nisa re, what is next I will be going to play? Sa, something after sa, something with the sa. So re is anywhere is going to followed by sa, which is taking re into descending, and that allows the raga to re to be there. Okay? But actually, so you get this point that re can be there, fine. But in the ragas, particularly this Bihar, re is not that strong. Okay, we don't play that strong re. Because of that, re is will not play here. But if you take normal scale, okay, we talk about Bihar. If you have some raga X, which is not Bihar, fine, which has these characteristics, then the re definitely will be there. Okay. But only because of the Raga Bihag, it has some extra added characteristics that re should not be that loud. For that only we will omit re here. Okay, but in general case, like in a Yaman, let's say. Okay, so if I play Dhanisa, okay, that is okay because after Dhanisa I am going to play ni phrase. Fine. So sa is going to be followed by ni, which is taking sa to descending. So when you are playing the alankar, you should think like that. Okay, don't see that okay, there is a danisa that is sa is going to higher. No. You ensure what is the next note. Only if the next note is going higher, then only you omit sa. If it is sa is not allowed. Okay. So here, because anyway you are going to play sa after re, you can play re here. There is nothing wrong. But because the extra characteristics of Bihar, we should avoid playing re strongly. That's why we are playing ga here. Okay. Now what is the next phrase after Visaga? Sagama. There we won't play Sarega. That will be totally wrong because if I play Sarega, re is totally in the ascending position. Okay. So in this case, the re should be omitted. So if the re is omitted, your ga is second note for there, and then ma will be your third. Fine. Now what is the next phrase after this? Gama pa. Gama pa. What next? Why to avoid the? Suppose if I take mapada, fine. Now you tell me what will be the next note to be there? Pa. Anyway, it's going to be pa. So that is not going to be ascending. Okay. So here you should keep dha here. If you take totally mapani, that it shows that there is no dha and re in the raga at all. Fine. It's not about that you are playing ascending of the alankar, that means you play this thing. No. Ascending of the alankar means that particular note you should be taking care. Okay, if I play ma pa dha and then when I am playing pa, the dha is still in descending there. Okay, like in a Yaman, again we go to the case of Yaman, where pa is not allowed. So if I play ga, ma, pa, okay, what is the next? Ma, ma phrase will be there for sure, something. Then we can play gamma pa. Why to play gamma dha there? Directly avoiding pa. Okay? Saji, are you getting my theory? What I am trying to say is, if I play mappa dha in a 1, 2, 3 format, anyway the dha will be going to followed with pa, pa nisa or some other phrase. Okay, so dha will be going to follow by pa, which will take dha into descending. Okay, so you should not avoid dha by playing mappa ni directly here while practicing the alankars. Okay, that's what I am trying to say. It's not like if we are playing the 1, 2, 3 of Bihar, then you play Panisa, Nisa, the Sagama, Gama, Pama, Pani, Panisa, Nisa, not like that. So you see, wherever it is a possibility of putting dha and re, and when there is a chances that the following not going to be down, then you must keep there. Otherwise, it shows that there is no dha and re at all in the raga.
So actually, again, it depends on what I'm playing after dha. If I want to play ni, I cannot.
Yeah, then like in this case of pa, we cannot play padani. Then we have to omit like a panisha. But in this Mapada, if you are omitting without calculating that the will be going to followed by pa, that is a wrong. No. You first go with Mapada, then you check. If it is a ni, then you cut here the and you put ni. If it is a pa, then nothing wrong. Right.
So, sir, in Ray, in this Bihar, we are avoiding this anchor also, and even in Avro also, we don't play Ray in.
Actually, the Ray is almost negligible in the raga. That's what they say. Because we have taken some, actually we took little advanced example to understand. We could have gone through some different example.
Because Ray, we don't play even Avro,
Yeah.
maybe we don't play only.
Yes.
But is there in composition it is played anywhere?
No, actually, if you play the Ray strongly, that is a characteristic of Marubiya. Playing Ray and Dha strongly is a characteristic of Marubiya. Just to take this misunderstanding away, we always try to avoid Ray.
So it should be then.
But it is actually not totally Varjit. It is not Varjit. It's like that. See. It is there, but you cannot hold on this. Like this. So suppose if the ray is not there totally, it will sound like this. But this is not Bihar. Bihar is. So ray is there, but is always in a running condition. When we play the fast phrases, then we can play ray, no problem. Nisa gama pa nisa sa ni da pa ma pa gama ga re sa So totally there. Equally there. Only it will be equal when every note is running. Then it will be equal. Okay. If the other notes are very slowly, then it has to.
Slowly, then we have to just go fast.
Just touch and go. We cannot hold on them like this. This is Marubiya. This is Bihar. This is a difference. Same with the Da. Even we cannot use Da more. This is Marubiya. This is Bihar.
Oh, Ray and the both
Yes.
in Bihar are.
But Dha, at least you can use little more, but not as strong as in a general concept. Like suppose in a Bhim Palasi, okay. I think we should go with the Bhim Palasi. That will be better example. Yes. Because this raga, as I said, that they have some added characteristics that we need to consider, and then that will make you more confused.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You told that this in
One
Bihar,
minute. Yes.
in Bihar, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa cannot be played. It should
We
be
can
in a
play Magaresa, but in that
it
case,
should be a
Ray
running
should be-
condition.
Correct.
Running condition. But in this Bihar ascending, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa is specifically written. It's a descending only. Ma, Ga, Re, Sa is descending only. So
Correct.
it cannot be. So I think it can
Yes.
play, right?
Tell me the question again.
The Ma, Ga, Re, Sa is written in the descending hand.
Correct.
Okay. So Ma, Ga, Re, Sa can be played. That's what
Yes.
I'm asking.
Yes, but with the Ray, it's a very less amount of time.
That is a main
If I say
specific characteristic.
like this,
Oh, okay.
that's the
that is
added
the main.
characteristic.
That is a characteristic of this raga.
That is added characteristics. No,
Oh,
that
okay.
if by
Okay,
looking
okay.
technically, you can say that Magaresa can be played, which is true.
Yes.
Now, what
Yes.
is added? You can play Magaresa, but not with the Ray strong there.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
this.
Thank you.
So that's why I am changing the example of the raga, because this has some more extra things. So we take some better example. We go with the Bhimpalasi. Okay. So there you will understand what is this, the ascending and descending of the notes. What is the ascending? Almost like a Bihar, but there are common notes. So Komal Ni, okay, Sa, Komal Ga, Ma, Pa, Komal Ni, Sa. These are common, just like Bihar, but Ga and Ni are common. Now what is descending? Sa, Komal Ni, Dha, Pa, Ma, Komal Ga, Re, Sa. So descending is also same like a Bihar. Okay, only that what is the difference? That ni and ga are common here. Okay, so we will give the same statement that re and dha are not allowed in ascending but present in descending. Okay, now let's we make 1, 2, 3 of this. Okay, now 1, 2, 3 starting from pa. Okay, what is the first phrase? Pa, ni, sa. Okay, here we will not play pa, ni, because if then in that case dha will be followed by ni, which take dha into ascending. Okay, so pa, ni, sa. Now what is the next phrase? So first you think ideally. When you are designing alankar, always think ideally. Don't omit the note directly. So what is the ideal? Okay, that ni, sa, re. That is the ideal. Okay, so ni, sa, re. But we are worried that if I play something which is higher than re, then this statement may be wrong. Till now it is not wrong yet. Why? Because there is nothing to be followed by after re. So still it is correct. So what I am going to play here, that will decide whether the re should be there or not. Okay. So tell me what I will be playing after this sa. Okay. So sa, because I am going to play, then re is in a descending position there. Okay. So re must be there. Okay. That's what I was trying to explain in the bihag, but in the bihag re is not that loud. That's why we omitted there. Okay. Now for the phrase of sa, we cannot. Okay, we go normally. It's a sa re ga, which is wrong because there your re is followed by ga, which is not allowed. So here you omit re, becomes sa ga ma. Correct. Now next is we cannot take re as a one because you cannot rise from re. So 1, 2, 3 making re is no meaning. Directly you will take ga as a one. So it will be ga ma pa. Ga ma pa. Fine. Now what will be one? Ma will be one. From there what will be normally? It should be ma pa da. Let the be there. We'll see whether it is should be avoided or not. And then after ma pa da, what you are going to play? Pa you are going to play. So the can be there. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay. So pa, here we need to omit the ni and sa. Pani sa. Okay. Because if I play pa da ni, that is wrong totally. Okay. Then again same thing will be there. Ni sa re, sa ga ma and ga ma. Okay. Now come to the descending. Okay. As many of you may think that what is the in the descending. As the notes are available, you can play fine sa ni da ba ta pa ma pa ma. But it is not like that. You will see. Starting from pa, what will be the first phrase? Pa, ma, ga. We need to only worry if there is a re and da in your phrase. If it is not there, you keep on going. Okay. Now what is next? Ma, ga, re. Okay. Suppose if I write ma, ga, re here, tell me what will be the next note after re? You are going to play ga. Then is a problem. Okay, the re is going to be followed by ga, which is higher note, which is taking re into this ascending. Though you are playing the descending of the alanka. Okay, so this is a wrong. So what we need to do? We need to omit re here. So in this case, the phrase won't be magare, it will be magasa. So that you can go up to take the turn for ga. That is the actual meaning of this statement. Okay, now you design a phrase for ga as a 1, 2, 3 ga re sa. That is okay. Then we don't need to omit re as a gasani because the re is not creating problem. Anyway, re is followed by sa, which is okay for re, which is okay for ra. Fine. Next. Re sa ni. Here also the re is followed by sa, which is descending. What is next? Sa ni. Suppose if I take dha. Suppose. Then what I will be going to play then after this? Ni. Okay, after playing Sanika, you are going to take ni. Then this takes da into ascending. Fine. So it should be Sani. Pa. The da should be omitted directly there. So sa ni. So before playing dha and re, you have to think what you will going to play after that. If you are going to play any higher note after them, then before playing them you avoid them. Okay, if I have played da already, then there is no chance I can rectify it. Then there is only chance that I go to pa extra so that I can go to ni then after. Okay, उसका फिर बजाने के बाद कुछ नहीं कर सकते. बजाने के पहले आपको सोचना पड़ेगा. फिर उसके जैसा नेक्स्ट में क्या होगा नी नी द प इसमें ठीक है द इज फॉलोड बाय प
सपोज बाय मिस्टेक सानी द कर दिया
कर दिया तो फिर प एक्स्ट्रा जोड़ो
प से जाना पड़ेगा
प करके फिर नी जाओ क्योंकि आपको नीधा प तो बजाना ही है सानी द आपने बजा दिया उसके बाद आपको नी नीधा प बजाना ही है तो ऊपर तो जाना है लेकिन ध से जा नहीं सकते तो सा नी ध प नी ध प से ऊपर उठ सकते हैं ध से ऊपर नहीं उठ सकते
Sanida Nidapa is not allowed.
हाँ because द is followed by नी directly there that is taking द into ascending नी द प then followed by next what will be the next phrase ध प म which is okay द is followed by प then next set क्या होगा प म ग next म ग सा very not म ग रे so that we can rise up to komal ga re sa then re sa ni sa ni pa then ni da pa correct so this is the meaning of this very simple statement that re and da is not allowed in ascending but present in descending okay so when we say ascending and descending of the alankar doesn't mean that you make the same thing out of this okay
so even for 1 2 3 4 you apply the same
so we take one more example so let's say we take
in this only if we create like 1 2 1 2 3 how
yes in the same case if we take let's say 1 to 1 okay this is final alankar then we are going to play the rag now listen me carefully we keep the re and dha whenever it is possible we first keep only we omit when it is which is not at all possible okay now consider this 1 to 1 to 3 starting from pa what will the first phrase pani panisa or okay you go first very simple form you say pada pada okay in one case then we see where is the problem pada pada now look at the first da this is followed by pa which is not a problem okay now look at the second da that is followed by ni that is a problem so we need to avoid only this da okay so now ni will become 2 and then you need a third note this is sa so the first possible phrase is a pada panisa we don't need to avoid first the pani panisa okay I am not saying pani panisa is a wrong phrase you can play but if you are going to see the all the possibilities where you can keep them then it should be pada panisa correct now what is the next after pa from there we cannot make phrase then next ni nisa nisa why re is there because then after re you are going to play sa that's why you are keeping that okay now for sa sare sagama okay why you see first we write sare sarega okay when it is sare sarega we are worried about re so first re is followed by sa which is okay this re is followed by ga which is not okay so we need to omit this re only okay now that ga is become 2 and then you need the third note so it is the ma sare sagama just like this pada panisa okay if I play pani panisa okay but then there was a chance that you could have dha between them okay same here I can play saga sagama but we can play sare sagama also because technically it's not wrong okay. Next gama gama pa there is nothing to worry next mapa mapa dha why dha is there because you are going to tempa after the so then we bring the into descending that's why you can play mapa mapa dha now what is next pada panisa same okay then nisa nisa re sa re sa ga ma and gama gama pa higher octave fine now tell me about the descending the first phrase would be pa ma ga ma dha no problem next if I do so take a normal case manga manga re there is no chance I can go for the ga phrase. Okay. So re or ga, whatever the note which is not allowed in the ascending should not be the ending the phrase because it won't allow you to go high after this. Okay. So maga sa. Now you can go high of ga. What will be?
Ga re ga. Ga re no.
Gare dasa ni.
Ga sa ga re.
What are the options? First option, gare gare sa. Second option,
Gare ga ni. Gare.
Ga sa.
पहले वो लिख लेते हैं, phrase लिख लेते हैं। गा रे सा। अभी देखना कि गलती कहाँ पे हुई। ये रे के बाद ग आया, ये गलती हुई, है ना? इस रे के बाद सा है, वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। ओके, तो आपको रिप्लेस किसको करना है? फर्स्ट रे। इसको रिप्लेस करोगे तो क्या होगा? ग सा। रे नहीं तो सा होगा ना डिसेंडिंग। तो ग सा ग रे सा ये हो। यहाँ पे गसा गसा नहीं करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ये रे तो ठीक ही था, ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं कर। पहला रे प्रॉब्लम था, ग रे ग, वो रे से ऊपर नहीं उठ सकते, इसलिए ग सा ग रे सा। ओके, एनी क्वेश्चन? ग रे ग रे सा if you play ग रे ग, this रे is a problem. Okay, so that रे is replaced ग सा ग रे सा. That ray is okay because it is anyway is followed by sa. Okay, so gare gare sa is wrong. Alternative is gasa gare sa. Gasa ni will be too harsh for ray. We are totally omitting ray. It should be there. The second option, gasa gare sa. Clear? Moving next. Resa ni, no problem. Next. Sani pa. Because if I take dha, will not allow me to go to ni as the next phrase. Okay. So sani dha ni, that is not possible. So sani pa, then we can go for the phrase of ni. Or what is the phrase of ni? What is general? In general, what we nida pa? Then what is, where is the problem? There are two dha. Which dha is the problem? First or second? First dha is the problem. Nida pa. This is okay. This is the problem. So only replace this. If you replace dha in the descending, what will be the next after dha? Pa. So it become nipa nida. Okay. Then next is a dhapa ma, which is okay. There is no any ray or dhapa ma is all the time dha is followed by pa, which is okay. Okay, and then pa ma is same phrase. Fine. So this is the real scenario. This will be the real scenario where you will be playing the raga. It is not that simple to avoid ray and dha while ascending and playing them while descending. It's not like that. Okay, we have to be very careful before playing them that what exactly you are going to play after them. Then only you can confidently play that note. Whether it is a yaman, where is sa and pa are omitted in ascending. So in this case, re and da are omitted in this course. Okay, so this way you should take it, and that for that alankar practice is very important before starting the raga actually. Okay. So whenever you are playing such raga, even the raga which is very simple like Bhupali, same notes, there too you should practice the alankar first with the sapat, then with the slides, and then with the tonguing and everything. Okay. Yes. Any question from our online participants?
Today we take the same one.
We'll see what raga we want to do. Any of this. Bhupali is so simple. Take some raga like this. Have this. So we can go for Bihar. I think it's a good raga. Just there you see along with these protocols, the extra added protocol is what there. That you cannot play re strong. You cannot play dha strong. Okay. So these are like second layer raga. Okay. The first layer raga is where your technicality is very much clear, like this. Okay. Even not this. This is the second layer raga. The first layer raga is when you have the same notes in ascending and descending. Okay. Like Bhupali, Hansadwani. Even Vrindavan Sanidhi is slightly difficult because there is a knee protocol there. Okay. So those raga which is the same in ascending, descending. There is the first layer of the raga. The second layer of the raga is when there is this kind of procedure. That few notes are there, present in ascending but not in descending, or in descending there is present not in ascending. But when you can play, when you are playing this correctly, you can play it technically. That is the second. There is a third level of the raga. Now among plus this characteristic, you have to take care of few more added protocols. Like this note should not be higher, this should not be taken so long. Okay, so that's the third category of the raga. Now the fourth category of the raga is you can play that note, but only with this dedicated phrase, like in a Bhageshri. Okay, the pa is not there almost, but if you want to play pa, you always have to play sa ni dha ma pa da like this only. Okay, it's not like that you can play pa sometimes and sometimes no. If you want to play pa, then only the way you can play is ni dha ma pa da like this. If I want to play pa, sa ni dha ma pa da, this is the only way. Otherwise, don't play pa. Sa ni dha ma ga re sa. Okay. The ascending of the Bhageshri is ni, sa, komal ga, ma, dha, komal ni, sa. The descending of the raga is sa, ni, dha, ma, ga, re, sa. No pa. But if you want to, there is a possibility of playing pa. If you want to play pa, then it is to this phrase: sa, ni, dha, ma. Okay, up to this it was there already. Now this is added is pa, dha, ma, ga, re, sa. Okay, this is pa da. So sa, ni, dha, ma, pa, da, ma, ga, re, sa. So pa should be always sandwiched between ma and da. If you want to play, else you don't play. Okay, so these are called the Vakra Ragas. Okay, if you want to touch that note, then you have to go like this round. Then only you can play. Otherwise, you leave it. This is like a fourth or some other level of the thing that you have to maintain these characteristics along with all these things are there already. Fine. And the few ragas are beyond this, where the this amount of note, the amount of the frequency, that is more important. Like as I said in earlier, when we play Bhairav. Okay, so technically we can say the sa, komal re, ga, ma, pa, komal dha, ni, sa. But this komal re is not a standard komal re. This komal re is slightly lesser than the standard komal re. That's what called ati komal re. Okay. Sorry with the same. Then same with the marwa. When we play marwa, it's a mi, re, ga. But then komal re is not exactly komal re. It's more than the just komal re. Okay. It's a higher side. The higher side. Okay. So
closer to Siddhare.
So closer to between Komal Re and Sudre. It's like that almost. Okay. So these are the ragas which are mostly tuned by the ears. It's not the position that you play and So that's why these kind of raga are not possible to play on the harmonium, where there's a fixed frequency. Okay. If you want to play, then you have to be first. You know what is the difference between Komal Re and Ati Komal Re. Okay, which is not. We cannot practically define them directly. Okay, this is Komal Re, this is Ati Komal Re, because you cannot stay on Ati Komal Re. It is just to be experienced like this.
But harmonium जब भी also Komal
It will be only direct Komal Re. So harmonium is like sa, then Komal Re. There is no between things. It's here. That's what we will be.
मारवा जब भी बजाते हैं तो Komal Re इसका
ऐसा ही बजता है. That's why those actually the instruments are the Western instruments. There's not Indian instruments. That we have just took it for the easiness of the notation for this. So these are the like another level of the raga where you need to be very much sure about the frequencies. Like Darbari, it's like that. Pag, so it's like rotating between Suddhaga and Komalga. Okay, so harmonium में तो वो switch ही नहीं है. Komalga और Suddhaga के बीच वाले. Okay, so every raga which has a different level of difficulties, and those are the learning stages. That first we learn raga like Upali, where the protocols are very simple. And then you go with this Desh and this Bimpalasi, when the protocols are added, but it is still technically you can maintain them. Then we come to the Bihag and Maru Bihag, where you have to be, you should be knowing the other ragas also. If you play in Bihag without knowing Maru Bihag, you will certainly make mistakes because you don't know what to not to do. Okay, technically Magaresa is possible. You will say what is wrong I am doing if I play Magaresa, but you will know only after playing Maru Bihag. That is, if I play Magaresa, then this is the Maru Bihag and this is the Bihag. Okay. So for this you need quite more experience. And then we come to this Bhageshri kind of ragas and this kind of things. Okay?
Jujjamani is like
Jajavanti.
Jajavanti.
Jajavanti is very simple. It's like Nisa, Rema, Nisa, Rega, Mappa, Nisa. It's a 6 notes. So Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Nisa. Only the is absent there. Descending Sani, Da, Pa, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa. Komal Ga, you can play at the descending whenever you want. So like this. So Jajavanti is. You can play like this, but sometimes you can add Komal Re only when you are closing the statement, only when you are closing the phrase like this. This is in our control. Okay, if you don't want to play Komal, no problem. If you want to play it only when you descend, that time only when you are closing your improvisation. So if I am playing some tans, okay, so I don't need to play Komal between them. Only when I will end those things. That time. But yeah, of course, it's the third standard of the raga where you need to decide whether it should be played Komalga there or not. Like, it's a good example. So, of course, it's a line of Bhageshwari and all this kind of raga. So there are three similar raga, very much similar. One is a Desh, okay, this Jajavanti and Jinjoti. So this is this one. Ni sa re ma pa ni sa ni da pa. Commonly by descending. Sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. This is this. Now what is this one? Jajavanti. Ni sa re ga ma pa ni sa. We added ga in the ascending. Same descending Sani da Pama Garesa. Better write this. So it will be easy for other people. So both has all three raga has the same descending and almost same ascending. So this is when we play Mi Sa Re Ma Pa Ni Sa Pa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. This is this. Now what is Jajavanti? Ni sa re ga. This is a very strong difference. Okay. Ni sa re ga ma pa ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. The descending is same. Okay. Now what is Jinjoti? Sa re ma pa da sa. Da is there. Okay. Ni is omitted. Descending. Sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Same. But to make difference, in the descending we add something and something, which is the characteristics of the raga, and through that we can make difference in the descending as well. Okay, so technically it's a sa ni da pa ma ga re sa in all three cases. But if it is a desh, then we would play the descending like this. Sa ni da pa ma ga re ga ni sa. So the Suddha ga. Okay. Re ga ni sa. This is a pakkad of the raga that we added into descending just to make difference from this similar two ragas. Suppose this is a Jajavanti. Then just as we discussed. Sa ni da pa ma ga re ga sa re ni sa. Because it is Komal. And if it is a Jajavanti, sorry, Jinjoti. रे मागरनी धनी पद सा, तो धनी पद सा, that is of characteristics of G. So it seems they are very near, but there are so much difference from it that we can only know when we have learned them individually so well. Then only we can differentiate them directly.
All three ragas come from Khamaj. All three ragas come from Khamaj.
If we take Komal ka consideration in Jajavanti, that is a kafi. Otherwise, these two raga, Desh and yes, both they comes from Khamaj. This Desh and Jinjoti. But sometimes because we are playing Komalga in Jajavanti, so but again it's a controversial. We cannot say because that Komalga is not that frequent in that raga. So that's why don't see about that. Okay. It is always not necessary to be always create
Feel
something.
some similarities. That's why I asked the question.
No, what you are saying is correct, but again, as I said, it is not truly applicable everywhere. That's the problem. Okay? तो आपको ये सब याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं जो भी अभी मैंने कहा, दैट क्या देश क्या है, जिनजोटी क्या है, बस ये समझने की कोशिश करिए कि आपका हर एक प्रोटोकॉल कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है राग का, है ना? क्योंकि वो इसलिए बनाया है ताकि वो राग में हम बने रहे, उस मूड में बने रहे। थोड़ा सा इधर उधर होगा तो क्योंकि आपने वो अधर राग बजाया नहीं है तो आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन जिन्होंने बजाया उनको समझ में आएगा ये तो गड़बड़ कर दिया। आपने सारे ग ध में प पे जाके रुक गए तो वही तो देशकार हो गया। आपको लगा मैंने थोड़ी ना म बजाया जो कोई गलत कर दिया, बट वो भी गलत ही है। हाँ, एनी क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम?
We'll take Bihar.
We'll take Bihar. We'll take Bihar as an example to play now, alap and everything. Yes. देश कौंस मैंने कभी बजाया नहीं, लेकिन जितना नाम से पता चलता है वो देश और चंद्रकौंस से मिला होगा या देश या मालकौंस के साथ मिला होगा। तो उसमें देश पहले है, मतलब देखिए जब दो नाम के रागों को मिलाते हैं तो जो पहला नाम जो होता है वो पूर्वांग होता है, मतलब आप पूर्वांग में सारे मपा बजाते होंगे, ठीक है, और जो बाद में कौंस लगा है, ओके, तो जो प से सा का बीच में है वहां पे आपका या तो चंद्रकौंस वाला कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होगा, मतलब बाय डिफॉल्ट नी कोमल होगा, ओके, और या तो ध कोमल होगा और नी शुद्ध होगा, और मालकौंस वाला कौंस होगा उसमें तो कोमल द और कोमल नी दोनों होगा। हाँ, और प वर्जित भी हो सकता है ना, तो ऐसा हो सकता है, मुझे पता नहीं लेकिन ऐसा हो सकता है। अगर मैं नी को लेता हूँ, मतलब अगर मैं चंद्रकौंस को मिला रहा हूँ, समझ लीजिए एज अ कौंस, तो नी शुद्ध रहेगा उसमें। तो अभी ग को सा रखेंगे, देश आगे है तो ग शुद्ध ही होना चाहिए। अच्छा, मुझे नहीं पता, मैंने कभी बजाया नहीं है, लेकिन जनरली हम जो रागों के दो नाम जोड़ते हैं, जैसे नट भैरव हमेशा बोलते हैं ना, तो आगे नट है सा रे रे ग ग म, ये नट वाला, पीछे भैरव प कोमल द नी सा, है ना। तो जैसे हम देश कौन सा अगर बोलते हैं तो आगे देश होगा सारे म का, या सारे म तक तो होगा, एंड देन पीछे प द नी सा में अगर चंद्रकौंस जोड़ दिया तो प तो न चंद्रकौंस में न मालकौंस में, तो कोमल द नी शुद्ध अगर चंद्रकौंस है, तो कोमल द कोमल नी अगर मालकौंस। जैसे ऐसा ही राग है झोंक कौंस, है ना। अभी भी लोग कंफर्म नहीं कर सकते कि कोमल नी रखना है या शुद्ध नी उसमें रखना है। हाँ, झोंक क्योंकि कौन सा है अभी भी कंफर्म नहीं है ना, कोई दोनों नहीं बजाते, ठीक है, तो वो तो जोक वाला कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होता है, लेकिन जोक तो आप आगे बोल रहे हो तो वो तो ग में लागू होगा ना। तो कभी कभी कोई सिर्फ शुद्ध नहीं बजाता है लेकिन चंद्रकौंस एज अ कौंस, कभी कभी कोमल द कोमल नी दोनों बजाते हैं टेकिंग मालकौंस एज अ कौंस, है ना। तो आप कोई आर्टिस्ट सुनेंगे जो पूरा जोक कौंस गाए शुद्ध नी के साथ, कोई कोमल नी के साथ, कोई दोनों नहीं लगा रहे ग की तरफ ही, इस तरीके से। तो ये थोड़ा ऐसा है कि जो हमने अपने मनोरंजन के लिए थोड़ा जोड़ दिया कि भाई इसके साथ ये जोक बहुत बजा लिया, मालकौंस बहुत बजा लिया, अभी मिक्स करके देखते हैं क्या कर सकते हैं इससे। हाँ, नहीं, मुझे इसका कोई आइडिया नहीं, मतलब मैं वो राग कभी बजाया ही नहीं जो आप अभी जो पंचम चंद्रकौंस मालकौंस का थोड़ा सा पता है, इसका मुझे आइडिया नहीं, क्योंकि शायद बजता ही नहीं बांसुरी में, शायद एक आध रिकॉर्डिंग होगा तो मैंने तो कभी। हाँ जी, अब उनकी तो
कोशिश करेंगे क्या?
जी देखेंगे, मैंने तो कभी मतलब ध्यान से इतना सुना नहीं, ना ही कभी उन्होंने हमको सिखाया, अगर वो सिखाते तो कभी कभी वो ऐसा करते हैं कि उन्होंने राग बजाया है, जैसे कभी कभी एक बार पूछ रहे थे इंदिरा कल्याण, उन्होंने खुद बनाया, उनका आरोह हमको पूछ रहे थे। तो ये सब ऐसी है ना कि वो स्पॉन्टेनियस चीजें होती है, और क्योंकि ऐसा कोई राग नहीं है तो उन्होंने नाम दे दिया, बजा दिया, बात खत्म हो गई, ठीक है। और हम लोग जाके उसका पूरा एकदम पीडीएफ तैयार करके आ जाते हैं कि ये एक राग है करके, और उनको भी पता नहीं है कि ये राग है करके। ऐसा भी कभी कभी होता है। चलिए, सो स्टार्ट विद द बिहार। अच्छा, अभी एक और चीज थियोरी है जो आपको डिस्कस करना है। कितना बजा? हाँ, अभी तो टाइम है।
सर इसमें वादी संबंधी क्या है बिहार?
बिहार में गांजा निषाद होगा। देन इसमें हमको डिस्कस ये करना है, ये सब तो राग की इंफॉर्मेशन हो गई कि राग में ये होता है, वो होता है, नहीं होता है। अभी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि आप राग को बजाओगे कैसे या गाओगे कैसे, डिलीवर कैसे करोगे उसका। इसकी दो सबसे बड़ी स्ट्रीम है नॉर्थ इंडिया में, ओके, जिसे हम कहते हैं ख्याल अंश है और ध्रुपद अंश। ये सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है, ठीक है। भूपाली तो भूपाली, अब सब समझ में आ गया, अभी इसलिए ये करना वो नहीं करना, ये सब चीजें। अभी जब आप बजाते हो तो उसमें आप कौन कौन से पड़ाव के होके उसमें से निकलोगे, ओके। इफ यू आर प्लेइंग खयालन और इफ यू आर प्लेइंग ध्रुपद, तो जो सबसे एंशिएंट है वो ध्रुपद है ना। जो हम कहते हैं भाई तानसेन जी गाते थे, उनके गुरु जो गाते थे, वो सभी ध्रुपदन से ही गाते थे। आलाप होता था, फिर उसमें जोड़ जाला ये सब। तो इसमें ध्रुपद में हम जब कोई चीज प्रेजेंट करते हैं, इसमें पहले होता है आलाप, फिर उसमें होता है जोड़, फिर उसमें होता है जाला, फिर उसमें होता है कंपोजिशन, ठीक है। एग्जाम्पल से समझाता हूँ। मान लीजिए कि हम यही राग लेते हैं बिहाग में, ठीक है। थोड़ी देर में बजाता हूँ, फिर हम बाद में सब एक साथ बजाएंगे इसके बाद। हर एक स्वर को टाइम से लेना देना नहीं, या उसकी कोई साइकिल नहीं चल रही कि आपको नी इतना ही बजाना है, सा को इतना ही बजाओगे, टाइम हो गया चेंज होने का, ऐसा नहीं। तो मतलब ये सिर्फ वन डायमेंशन है, नोट्स, ओके। उसके साथ टाइम जुड़ा हुआ नहीं, दैट इज कॉल्ड आलाप। इसमें आपका लय जीरो, लय है ही, लय फैक्टर ही नहीं है इसके अंदर। फिर अभी यही चीज को आप लय के साथ करो, और वो लय आपको खुद रखना है। जैसे मैंने डिसाइड किया 1 2 3 4, तो अभी जो भी डिलीवर होगा नोट, उसका एक बंधा हुआ समय होगा। ये नहीं कि उसको एक ही मात्रा बजाना, आप चाहे 4 मात्रा बजाओ, लेकिन फिर भी तो बंधा हुआ है ना, इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं है समय से। तो फिर उससे ये चीज बनती है। मोस्टली 4 बीट साइकिल में चलता है, 1 2 3 4 एंड 1। तो आपका जो स्टेटमेंट है, जो आपका फ्रेज है, वो 4 बीट में खत्म हो जाना चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं कि चलो सिर्फ बीट में बजाए तभी सही हो जाए, वो भी गलत है। बीट पे बजाते हुए भी आपको जो कहना है वो 4 मात्रा में कंप्लीट कर दो। नया जब वापिस एक आएगा तो आप उस फ्रेज को रिपीट भी कर सकते हो या नया फ्रेज आ सकते हो, बट उसकी जो लाइफ है वो 4 बीट की ही है। भी आप उसको 4 गिनो 8 गिनो, एक ही बात। ओके, तो बीट और साइकिल दोनों है उसमें, सिर्फ बीट नहीं। दैट इज कॉल्ड जोड़। ठीक है, फिर झाला में क्या होता है, एक्चुअली जोड़ को ही फास्ट कर दो, झाला हो जाता है। लेकिन जोड़ में जैसे मैंने कहा ना कि ध्रुपद में हम जब गाते हैं तो स्वरों के नाम नहीं लेते, इसको नी सा ऐसा नहीं गाते। दीन ना 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 दीन ना ना, उसको जब फास्ट करते हैं, उसकी टेम्पो जो अभी हमने जो रैंडम टेम्पो लिया था उसको फास्ट करते हैं, तो जो धीम ता ना 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 जो है उसका बहुत जल्दी उसका रिपीटेशन होता है और वो एक ही स्वर पे ज्यादा होता है। ओके, तो इसको स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट में बजाना इजी है क्योंकि देयर वी हैव स्ट्रोक करके बजा देते हैं, तो उनके लिए जोड़ ज्यादा ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, बस ज्यादा होगा तो एक स्वर को ज्यादा बजाएंगे। ओके, जबकि जोड़ में क्या होता है, स्लाइडिंग का काम ज्यादा होता है। जैसे ये हम ज्यादा बजाते हैं जोड़ में, वहां नी का रिपीटेशन है लेकिन इतना क्विक नहीं है, नी 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 ऐसा नहीं है, नी 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 तो स्लाइडिंग से हो जाता है। यहाँ पे वो रिपीटेशन बहुत फास्ट है, तो फॉर दैट व्हाट वी रिक्वायर इज टंगिंग, जो हमने कल सीखा। ओके, तो ऑलमोस्ट वो जोड़ ज्यादा एक ही चीज है, जस्ट टेम्पो फास्ट है और यहाँ पे आपको एक स्वर को जल्दी ज्यादा रिपीट करना है, फिर बिकम्स जाला। टंगिंग निकल तो जोड़ ही है ना, बस टंगिंग करने से वो जाला हो जाता है। और इतना भाग जो हमने बजाया है ना, ये सोलो है। सोलो इन द सेंस कि आपको परकशन इंस्ट्रूमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है ना। कंपोजिशन जो है यहाँ से आपके साथ परकशन इंस्ट्रूमेंट जुड़ता था और वो जुड़ता था पखावज से। तबला तो था ही नहीं उसका, तबला तो बाद में आया उसके बाद। तो यहाँ पे जो है पखावज के साथ आपकी कंपोजिशन बची ना। व्हाट इज अ कंपोजिशन? कंपोजिशन मतलब कि यही सब चीजें जो आपने, जैसे यहाँ पे टेम्पो नहीं था, यहाँ पे टेम्पो और आया, साइकिल आया, उसी चीज को आप फिजिकली एक साइकिल के साथ करो, है ना। जैसे आप कहते हैं 4 मात्रा, तो यहाँ पे 4 मात्रा आपको बजा के दी जाएगी, या 8 मात्रा तो 8 मात्रा बजा के दी जाएगी, या जो भी आप ताल चूज करेंगे उस हिसाब से बजा के दी जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे वो साइकिल फिजिकली बचता, यहाँ पे वो साइकिल जो है आप अपने दिमाग में रख के उसको चलते हैं। और यहाँ पर एक साइन लाइन आ जाए, जैसे फिल्म का गाना होता है ना, जैसे एक आप लाइन बना लेते हैं कि जिसको बार बार आप उपयोग करेंगे। करना आपको यही इम्प्रोवाइजेशन ही है, बट वो लाइन हमेशा बीच बीच में रहेगी, जिसे हम कहते हैं कंपोजिशन। ओके, तो यहाँ पर क्या इम्प्रोवाइजेशन है, लेकिन ऐसा कोई फिक्स लाइन नहीं है जो आपको बार बार बजाना, बट यहाँ पे वो चीज एक एक्स्ट्रा ऐड हो जाती है। अदरवाइज यहाँ जो काम करते हो वही काम हम यहाँ पे करते हैं, बस यहाँ पे उल्टा, यहाँ पे आसान है क्योंकि आपके साथ एक परकशन इंस्ट्रूमेंट है जो आपकी लय को गिनेगा या आपको हेल्प करेगा उसके साथ चलने के लिए। दैट इज कॉल्ड कंपोजिशन। पहले के समय में ये जो रेशियो था ना, इट वाज लाइक 80-20 रेशियो। मतलब अगर कोई 1 घंटा राग गाता था, है ना, तो उसमें लगभग वो 40 मिनट से ज्यादा आलाप जोड़ डाला करता था। 20 मिनट में या 15 मिनट में सिर्फ कंपोजिशन गा के दिखा था कि ऐसा होता है। तो इसका प्लस पॉइंट ये था कि ये परफॉर्मर को सोलो करने के लिए वो इंडिपेंडेंट था, है ना। ऐसा कई बार भी हुआ है कि जैसे आप कहीं से प्रोग्राम करने के लिए जाओ, तबला वाला लेट हो गया कोई भी कारण से, ट्रेन नहीं आई या ट्रैफिक में फंस गया, देन इफ यू आर ध्रुपद प्लेयर यू कैन फिनिश द कॉन्सर्ट ना, कोई बुरा नहीं मानेगा अगर आपने आलाप जोड़ बजा के खत्म कर दिया। तो वही चीज ख्याल में तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। तो ख्याल में तो 2 मिनट आलाप करके सीधा उनको चाहिए तबला साथ में। तो ये एक बड़ा डिफरेंस था कि यहाँ पर आप सोलो ही काफी है। हाँ, ये होंगे तो और 4 चांद लग जाएंगे, वो अलग बात, ठीक है। बट इसमें प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें देखिए म्यूजिक पहले जो था वो ऐसा योगा की तरह था, लोगों को दिखाने के लिए नहीं करते थे, खुद के लिए करते थे, है ना, कि भाई ये इज अ पार्ट ऑफ अ लाइफ म्यूजिक करना। तो इसलिए ये सब चीजें जैसे आलाप, इसको जो इम्प्रोवाइजेशन करते हैं इसको हम कहते हैं नोट टू नोट इम्प्रोवाइजेशन। व्हाट इज नोट टू नोट इम्प्रोवाइजेशन? हम जब अभी आलाप करेंगे, आप सा से नीचे जाइए, पहला स्वर कौन सा आएगा? नी आएगा, ओके। अभी आपको सा और नी इतने में ही रहना, 5 मिनट तक कुछ भी हो जाए, इससे ऊपर नहीं जाना, इससे नीचे नहीं जाना। उसकी सभी संभावनाओं को देखिए कि क्या क्या मैं नी और सा से बजा सकता हूँ। फिर आप उसके नीचे जाएंगे तो ध आएगा, लेकिन ध तो ऊपर नहीं ले सकते इस राग में, तो उससे नीचे जाएंगे तो प आएगा। सो नाउ यू हैव सा, नी, ध और प। अभी 10 मिनट इसी में रुकिए, उसमें क्या क्या चीजें आप बजा सकते हो वो करिए। फिर उसके बाद अगर कोई अदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट में है जहाँ पे आप नीचे जा सकते हो, फिर म आएगा, फिर वापिस लोक लग जाएगा, मतलब एक एलिमेंट आया अगेन लोक। अभी इतने में काम करो, है ना, आपके पास 10 ही रुपया है, महीना चलाना है उसमें, ये सी बात है, ठीक है। फिर अगले महीने 10 रुपया मिलेगा, नया स्वर आएगा ग, तब तक वही सानी तब म में ही चलते रहो, है ना। फिर रे आएगा, फिर सा आएगा। तो इससे दो चीजें होती है, एक तो आप उस राग को बहुत अच्छे से समझोगे, और दूसरा कि आपका जो इंक्लूजन फैक्टर है वो बहुत ज्यादा तगड़ा होता है। तभी तो आप 2 स्वरों में 5 मिनट तक बजाओगे, वरना तो नीसा सा नहीं खत्म हो गया, क्या बजाएंगे, है ना। उसमें ऑर्नामेंटेशन लगेगा, नी नी सा ये करेंगे तो तीसरा प्रेस तो बनेगा, उसमें स्लाइड लगेगा आपको, या उसमें टेपिंग लगेगा, सब चीजें लगेगी उसमें, ओके। सो इट्स लाइक नोट टू नोट इक्वेशन। सो ऐसा करते करते वो लोअर ऑक्टेव के साथ तक जाता है। अभी हमारे केस में तो हम प तक ही जाते हैं, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव लोअर ऑक्टेव साउंड, ओके। देन आफ्टर रीचिंग प, देन यू इंक्रीज वन नोट इन द मिडिल ऑक्टेव। उसके साथ के बाद फिर ग आएगा ना, क्योंकि यहाँ पे रे इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है। सो ग, तो नाउ यू हैव प नी सा ग, दरवाजा बंद, ठीक है। अभी इतने में काम चलाओ 10 मिनट तक। देन यू एड म, फिर से दरवाजा बंद, फिर प, फिर नी। सो एक स्वर आया, उसके बाद आपको उतने में रह के काम करना है। ऐसे करते 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 आप आपकी जो हाईएस्ट नोट है वहां तक पहुंचो। सो आलाप इटसेल्फ कैन टेक अप टू 1 आवर, अगर आप उसको सिस्टमेटिकली करोगे, ठीक है। प्रैक्टिस में तो लेता ही है, परफॉर्मेंस में भी ले सकता है 1 घंटा आराम से, ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद शुरू होगा जोड़, है ना, फिर से वही रूट शुरू होगा, वापस सा से नी जाना है। नाउ यू हैव अ टाइम बीच में, ओके। तो जो चीज आप इसमें करते थे, इसमें एक और डायमेंशन ऐड हो गया लय का, ओके। आप उसमें और अच्छी तरीके से इसमें चीजों को दिखा सकते हैं। मतलब आप अगर आलाप में है तो आपने एक बार निशा बजा दिया तो हो गया, और यहाँ पे आप निशा को 10 अलग अलग तरीके से बजा सकते हो। भाई नी 1 मात्रा बजाया, सा 4 मात्रा, 3 मात्रा बजा दिया, नी 2 मात्रा बजाया, सा 2 मात्रा बजाया, तो वही सेम नोट्स कैन, अभी आपके पास दूसरा डायमेंशन आ गया, यू कैन प्ले लिटिल मोर। तो जोड़ भी लंबा चलता है, नोट बाय नोट ऐसे ही। अगेन फिर ज्यादा, फिर से सा से शुरू होता है, सा फिर नी, फिर द, फिर प, फिर ग, फिर म, ओके। एंड फिर कंपोजिशन में भी इम्प्रोवाइजेशन वैसा ही होता है। एक बार लाइन बजाया, फिर सा से शुरू करेंगे, सा से नी का काम दिखाएंगे, नी से द का। अब हम वो 4 बार चक्कर घूमते हैं, जो एक स्वर का, और एक बार स्वर लगा के फिर दरवाजा बंद कर देते वो अलग, ऐसा 4 बार घूम के आते हैं। तो इसलिए ये जो चीज था वो बहुत लंबा चलता है, अभी भी चल सकता है आराम से, 2-2.5 घंटा एक राग बजा सकते हैं इसको प्रैक्टिस करके। तो उस समय ये ठीक था, क्योंकि उस समय लोगों को समझ थी संगीत की। आजकल तो लोगों को खाने का टाइम नहीं, उसमें भी उनको फास्ट फूड चाहिए। तो ओवर द टाइम जो मॉडर्नाइजेशन आया म्यूजिक में, वो यही आया कि भाई इसको थोड़ा छोटा करो, जल्दी घर जाना है, राह देखा है। तो सबसे पहले क्या किया कि एक तो नोट टू नोट का जो इम्प्रोवाइजेशन है वो कॉन्सेप्ट को थोड़ा चेंज कर दिया, फ्रेश टू फ्रेश कर दिया। एक फ्रेज में हम 3 स्वर बजा देंगे, सानी द प, उसमें एक आध 2 बार बजाया, फिर दूसरे फ्रेज में ग तक चले जाएंगे, फिर तीसरा फ्रेज आएगा तो नी तक चले जाएंगे। ऐसा करते करते अभी इस तरीके से अगर आप जाओगे तो आपको ऊपर तक आलाप का खत्म करने में कितना मैक्सिमम 5 मिनट लगेगा, या ज्यादा से ज्यादा और भी बजा दिया तो 6-7 मिनट लगेगा। उसके बाद तो आलाप खत्म। अभी जोर जरा तो निकाल ही दिया पूरा, वो चाहिए नहीं, एक ही तो चीज बार बार कर रहे हो करके, ये करके सीधा चले गए कंपोजिशन में, ओके। बट कंपोजिशन में क्या होता है, राग को प्रस्तुत करने के लिए भी आपको आलाप तो करना ही पड़ेगा, अच्छा खासा आलाप करना पड़ेगा। तो इसीलिए जो पहली कंपोजिशन दे टेक इज अ वेरी स्लो टेम्पो कंपोजिशन, उसको हम कहते हैं विलंबित, ओके, विलंबित या अति विलंबित, जिसमें उनका टेम्पो है लेकिन इतना डिफरेंट है, उसका इतना दूर दूर है कि इसमें आप आलाप भी करोगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। तो उनका ऐसा ही होता है कि जो 12 मात्रा का ताल लेते हैं, एक ताल जिसका नाम है 3 ताल लेते हैं, उसकी आखिरी 3 या 4 मात्रा में ही कंपोजिशन होती है ना, बाकी की 12 मात्रा तो खाली ही पड़ी है, उनमें वो आलाप ही करते हैं। आलाप करके फिर वो जगह याद होती है कि भाई ये मात्रा आई तो यहाँ से 3 मात्रा में हमारा कंपोजिशन होता है, जाके वहां पे जाएंगे, फिर लास्ट में थोड़ा सा उसको थोड़ा सा लय के साथ गाते, बाकी ऑलमोस्ट वो आलाप ही करते हैं। तो उनका पहला स्टेप क्या हुआ, आलाप, विच इज शॉर्ट कंपेयर टू ध्रुपद, इट्स अ वेरी शॉर्ट आलाप। फिर उसके बाद सीधा कंपोजिशन, ये तो चला गया पूरा। कंपोजिशन में पहला कंपोजिशन है स्लो टेम्पो कंपोजिशन, इसे हम कहते हैं, वो कहते हैं बड़ा ख्याल। बड़ा क्यों? क्योंकि टेम्पो स्लो है, so it take more time to complete one cycle, है ना, बड़ा टाइम लग जाता है, इसीलिए वो बड़ा ख्याल है उनको। तो बड़ा ख्याल इज नथिंग बट अ कंपोजिशन which has a slow tempo, ठीक है, उसको कंफ्यूज मत करो। And then next is a छोटा ख्याल which is equivalent to the composition in Drupal, okay, तो छोटा ख्याल means a medium tempo composition, okay, तो वही जो 120 बीपीएम अगर तीन ताल है तो या 100 बीपीएम है, सादा पादा मा पा गा मा दा दिन दा, जो यहाँ पे जो जोड़ डाला के बाद शुरू होता था वो यहाँ पे शुरू हो जाता है वही। तो कंपोजिशन दोनों का एक जैसा हो सकता है यहाँ पे, लेकिन जो विलंबित होता है वो ध्रुपद में नहीं होता, क्योंकि ध्रुपद में जरूरत ही नहीं, आपने आलाप ही इतना लंबा किया कि विलंबित जाने की जरूरत है। उसके बाद आपने जोड़ गए, टेम्पोराइज किया, उसके बाद ज्यादा गए और टेम्पोराइज किया, उसके बाद विलंबित जाने का तो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता, है ना। टेम्पो हमेशा परफॉर्मेंस में बढ़ता है, कभी नीचे नहीं जाता। जोड़ का टेम्पो इज टेंटेटिवली 45 to 50 बीपीएम, जाला का टेम्पो है उससे 20 बीपीएम ज्यादा, 65-70 बीपीएम, ठीक है। अभी ये जो विलंबित कंपोजिशन होता है उसका टेम्पो कितना 30-35 बीपीएम, वो तो उसका वहां बैठेगा ही नहीं, उसके बाद सीधा मीडियम टेम्पो कंपोजिशन। अगर रूपक जब ताल होगा तो 90 बीपीएम आसपास होगा, तीन ताल होगा तो 100-120 बीपीएम आसपास। ओके, सो वी डोंट प्ले दिस बड़ा ख्याल, ओके। हाँ, छोटा ख्याल की कोई कंपोजिशन आप जानते हैं कि कोई अलग ख्याल में कोई गाता है, जैसे अई बेरों में हम गाते हैं ये जो कंपोजिशन है ना जो फेमस है, वो आप यहाँ पे बजा सकते हैं क्योंकि वो टेम्पो मैच करता है। फिर इसके बाद एक और पार्ट आता है ग्रुप कंपोजिशन, दोनों में आता है, इसमें भी होता है इसमें भी होता है। मीडियम टेम्पो कंपोजिशन करने के बाद इफ यू अगेन वांट टू गो एट द हायर टेम्पो, तो जो कंपोजिशन आपने मीडियम टेम्पो में बनाया है विच इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल एट द हायर टेम्पो, सभी कंपोजिशन को हम फास्ट नहीं कर सकते, तो देयर यू डिजाइन अ न्यू कंपोजिशन which is suitable at Dadinda, Nadinda, Dadinda, Dadinda, ta 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 Dadinda, Nadinda, okay. That is called group time. That is not mandatory. Up to this is a mandatory that you have to have alap, jor, dala, composition. If khayal then alap, then bada khayal, then chota khayal. Group is if you can go, if you have time, if you have that ability, if you have good tabla player, we can join with you, then you can go for the group. Okay. तो ये आपका डन। अच्छा, नाउ व्हाट इज द रेशियो नाउअडेज? 10 out of 9 or 8 you can say people they are following khayal, okay। लोगों को बहुत कम लोग जो म्यूजिक में एक्चुअली इंटरेस्टेड है, दे नो अबाउट व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ध्रुपद एंड खयाल, अदरवाइज उनको उन्होंने खयाल ही सुना है सब जगह। आप कोई भी वोकलिस्ट का नाम ले लो, शायद ही आपको कोई ध्रुपद गाने वाला वोकलिस्ट पता हो। जितने भी वोकलिस्ट आपने सुने हैं या नाम सुना सब दे आर फॉलोइंग खयाल। ध्रुपद में ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बहुत पुराना हो गया, ओल्ड एज हो गया, उसमें बहुत अच्छी अच्छी चीजें हैं, बट टू प्रेजेंट देम वी हैव टू हैव वेरी गुड प्रैक्टिस। लाइक स्लाइड आपकी बहुत अच्छी होनी चाहिए, टर्निंग आपका बहुत अच्छा आना चाहिए, एंड आपके बजाने में वो ठहराव होना चाहिए ना, कि आप जो भी बजाएंगे वो एक ही दो ही स्वर को लेके धीरे 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 उसमें ऐसा बुनते रहेंगे कि लोगों को भी बोरिंग नहीं लगना। ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द प्लेइंग ऑफ गुरुजी एंड प्लेइंग ऑफ पंडित प्रहलाद बोस? वो भी बहुत अच्छा बजाते हैं, कोई कंपैरिजन ही नहीं दोनों, बट वो ख्याल बजाते हैं। मेन डिफरेंस इज कि वो ख्याल बजाते थे। गुरुजी की जो लीनियज है दैट इज द फर्स्ट लीनियज कि जिन्होंने फ्लूट में ध्रुपद बजाना शुरू किया। उनके पहले जितने भी लोग थे ना, सब प्रसन्ना फैमिली ले लीजिए या जो भी ये जितने भी लोग सब ख्याल ही बजाते थे। गुरुजी वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू इंट्रोड्यूस, इवन गुरुजी वाज आल्सो प्लेइंग ख्याल। उनके जो पहले जो गुरु थे सब ख्याल ही बजाते। देन व्हेन ही वेंट एंड मेट टू हिज गुरु मानपूर्ण देवी जी, दैट लीनियज मैयर घराना, it is famous for the Drupal Gharana, and then he saw that this is a very good way of, it's a like almost dying tradition, this Drupal that day. Okay, then he along with his friend Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, they adopted this technique and then it becomes so popular that nowadays if you are playing a flute and if you are not playing Jor Jala, the people will think it is incomplete without Jor Jala. They don't know what is Drupal, they don't know what is Khayal. That becomes so popular that now Alap, Jor, Jala, this has become the part of the full composition. So nowadays the people who belong to Khayal, they have also started playing Jor Jala. Though it is not their topic. Many people who have been their ancestor and great grandfather, all that great Khayal. Now people are demanding for Jor Jala. They are adding dahi into khichdi like this. Okay, but it's a good thing. That's what that is actually the most contribution of Pandit Harivarsha Saraswati. That's what I would. It's not only that he plays the flute so much and so good. That's okay. But what is actually the contribution that he took Drupad style into the flute, which is a very rare thing. It takes nobody could think about playing an instrument which has not only full 3 octaves. Only we have 2.5 octaves. Okay, and the Drupad is like it's a well fish. very big. You cannot play that in a compact instrument like a flute. But with his dedication, his hard work, blessing of his guru and their hard work, we could see this evolution just in a one life. Otherwise, this kind of evolution takes 3-4 generations, like a sitar. What sitar we are listening today, it's a work of 6-7 generations. Okay, what you are flute that you are listening today, it's only one generation has done everything what is possible on the flute. Okay, so that's what his contribution is. You can see like that. Okay, so now what I was trying to say is, in our performances and our practice, we will be playing these 4 segments always. We start with the ala, we go with the jod, jala, and the composition. If you listen somebody playing ala followed by slow tempo composition and the composition, so that's a khayal sa. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay, don't try to find jod ala, there is jod ala in that. Okay, that's a different way of presentation. This is a different way of presentation, and we can also learn from them. It is not like that if you are belonging to Drupal, you never listen to khayal. It is not like that. For the instrumentalities, we are very free. Even though I belong to Mayar Gharana, I can play some raga in khayal sa. Nobody will say nothing wrong to me. But if I am vocalist, by lifetime I will sing Drupal if I am a Drupal. Not maybe for my wife also I have to sing Drupal Ghazal maybe. They never change these things. Otherwise they like people may not like this. So for them it's a very strict. But for the instrumentalists we are like a water. We can go with mix and with anybody. We can play light music. See in the vocal you have this light khumri. Okay, chaiti. So they are dedicated people. They are dedicated artists who, for their whole life, they sing just this chaiti and all these things. They never try to play the concert, sing a concert like a classical vocalist. Okay? So their genre are fixed. But for the instrumentalists, we are open. We can play the Drupal style, we can play khayal style, we can play thumri, we can play chaiti, we can play bhajans, film song, everything. Okay. So for that, we have to respect and we have to listen everything. Just need to know the differences. That what are the differences that are special in them when they are singing or playing. Okay? Any question?
सर जब बजाते हैं तब आलाप या जोर जाला उसको गाते रहने
बिना गाए तो होगा ही नहीं. मैंने कहा ना, इंस्ट्रूमेंट तो एक जरिया है जिससे कि आपकी आवाज बाहर आए. यहाँ से तो हम वोकलिस्ट ही बनते हैं. अभी जब मैं कुछ भी बजाऊंगा, नी सा, ये तो गाना ही है दिमाग. अगर वो सिर्फ नाम लेके मैं कुछ भी ऐसा मैथमेटिकली करूंगा, कुछ समय तक बज जाएगा. उसके बाद फिर और जो बजेगा वो भी सुर में नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आपको तो सुर से लेना देना नहीं, आप तो सिर्फ नाम ढूंढ रहे हो उसके, है ना. मे बी अगर आप कीबोर्ड बजाओगे तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, या कोई ऐसा इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो पहले से ट्यून रहता है उसमें वो चीज साइड काम करता है, लेकिन उसमें भाव नहीं आएगा. दैट फीलिंग इट वॉन्ट के, क्योंकि फीलिंग तो उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी में है. आप नी से सा ही क्यों गए, है ना. नी से सा से ग गए तो सा से ग कैसे गए और वो क्यों गए. नी सा ग, नी सा ग, फर्क है. दो बहुत ज्यादा सेम नी सा. तो बिना गाए तो कुछ भी होगा ही नहीं. बस फर्क इतना है कि गले के बदले इसके थ्रू हमारी आवाज है. सितारिस्ट हो या वायलिनिस्ट हो, जो भी हो, हमारे लिए तो गाना और भी जरूरी है, क्योंकि हमारा इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऐसा है कि वो वेरी कर जाता है फ्रीक्वेंसी उसकी, है ना. सितार में अगर एक बार ट्यून कर दिया निशा का बजाय तो ठीक है, वो बराबर स्कूल में रहेगा. वायलिन में कैसे, उसको अगर जगह पता नहीं होगा कि सा कहाँ है, कान से तो उंगली पड़ेगी नहीं. वो तो वायलिन तो इससे भी ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है. या तो फिर भी होल तो दिया हमने कि भाई यह सा है, लगभग सा हो जाएगा, लगभग रे हो जाएगा. वहां तो कुछ नहीं, बस एक सा में ट्यून है, रे तो ढूंढना पड़ेगा, कोई वहां पे आर्क भी नहीं देखने. तो वी हैव टू बी वोकलिस्ट यहाँ से. ओके, तो अगर आपको अच्छा फ्लूटिस्ट बनना है, कोई भी अच्छा इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनना है, तो आपको वोकलिस्ट को सुनना ही है, गाते ही रहना है जब भी टाइम मिले. तो बस जब प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो भी गाना है. अभी हम देखेंगे, अभी जैसे माला प्रैक्टिस गा के ही प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, एंड देन इट विल जस्ट रेसिप्रोकेट थ्रू द इंस्ट्रूमेंट.
सर लेकिन आपने बोला कि ध्रुपद में गाते नहीं उसको, मतलब
स्वरों का नाम नहीं गाते, गाना तो गाते हैं ना. नी को नी नहीं बोलते, वो दीम दाना कुछ भी होते दाना बोल देंगे, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं. वो भी इसीलिए ताकि वो ज्यादा टेक्निकल ना हो जाए. दैट इज द लॉजिक बिहाइंड दैट. अगर मैं नी को नी ही बोलूंगा तो हर बार एक ही जगह पे जाके नी बजाऊंगा, एक ही जगह नी बजाऊंगा. उसको अगर मैं नाम छोड़ दूंगा उसका तो बहुत टेक्निकली रिलीफ हो जाता है. नी ये अलग हो जाता है. अभी ओरिजिनली नी ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता ना, एक ही फ्रीक्वेंसी होगा वो. तो इट एक्चुअली इट्स अ स्मार्टनेस दैट दे डोंट टेक द नेम्स ऑफ द नोट्स.
हम लोग सर नेम ले
ले सकते हैं, कोई बुरी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि हमको तो ओदी दाना वाला ट्रेनिंग मिला नहीं गाने का, तो ले सकते हैं. लेकिन उसके साथ वो फिक्स फ्रीक्वेंसी को बांधने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. नी ये भी हो सकता है. अभी इसमें जो इंग्रेडिएंट्स है उसको ढूंढना हमारा काम है कि भाई ये कैसे बना है, ये अकेला नी नहीं और भी स्वर है इसके साथ। ओके, उसको ढूंढना काम, लेकिन ऐसा है कि भाई हमेशा नाम गया तो सीधा ही स्वर लगेगा, उससे उस टेंडेंसी से बाहर निकल, नाम ले सकते। ओके, एक और चीज कर सकते हैं, आज घर जाके कोई एक राग जो आपको थोड़ा पता हो, ना भी पता हो, जैसे भूपाली, उसको सर्च करिए वोकल में, ठीक है, इंस्ट्रूमेंट में, राग भूपाली ध्रुपद स्टाइल, मैं बता देता हूँ कौन कौन, डागर ब्रदर्स है, बुंदेजा ब्रदर्स है, और भी बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे आपको, यंग बहुत अच्छे अच्छे ध्रुपद सिंगर्स अभी आने लगे। और उसी राग को आप ख्याल में सुनिए, ख्याल में तो जितना नाम आपने सुना है सब ख्याल करते हैं, जो भी जितना नाम सुना है सब ख्याल, एंड देन वो दोनों को सुन के आप समझिए कि आपको क्या डिफरेंसेस लगा, ध्रुपद में क्या अच्छा लगा, क्या बुरा लगा, कम अच्छा लगा, ख्याल में क्या अच्छा लगा, क्या कम अच्छा लगा, और एज ए इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट आपको जो अच्छा लगा सब ले, इसमें से जो अच्छा लगा ये लो, इसमें से जो अच्छा लगा ये ले। ओके, तो वो डिफरेंस को समझना बहुत जरूरी है। मैं ध्रुपद का हूँ, इसलिए शायद मैं ये स्टेटमेंट दे सकता हूँ कि ये जो है ये लर्निंग के लिए बहुत अच्छा मेथड है, क्योंकि ये आपको टाइम देता है, इट्स लाइक अ लाइफ, यू नो। अब आपने एकदम बच्चे की तरह चलो धीरे धीरे समझो कि राग क्या कह रहा है, क्या ग कहाँ पे, म कहाँ पे, फिर जब समझ में आया तो थोड़ा सा उठो, है ना, थोड़ा सा अभी यंग हो गए, बीट के साथ चलना शुरू करो, थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट करो, रिदमिक चीजें करो, ये करो वो करो, एंड दैट टू सोलो, कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट का सहारा लेके नहीं, खुद से रिदम क्रिएट करो। यहाँ पे आप अपनी जवानी दिखाओ, जो भी आपकी तैयारी है, जो भी टर्निंग है, ये करके करके यहाँ आपकी शादी हो गई, ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद क्या होता है वो तो सबको पता है। यहाँ पे क्या बच्चा पैदा होते ही शादी हो जाती है सीधा, बाल विवाह हो जाता है यहाँ, तो उसके बाद वो बेचारा संघर्ष ही करता रहता है आखिर तक, क्योंकि आपको ध्यान रखना तबला प्लेयर को, एक बार आपके साथ कुछ और चीजें जुड़ गई, चाहे वो कितनी भी अच्छी है, आप तो वो नहीं है ना। एक बार तबला प्लेयर मेरे साथ बजाना शुरू कर दिया, जो मैं बजा रहा हूँ वो 100% मैं नहीं, कुछ तो उनका इफेक्ट है जो मुझ पे आया है बजाते हुए, है ना। तो यहाँ पे वो चीज आपको स्वतंत्रता मिलती है वो करने की।
दूसरे बंदिश और गत का भी,
हाँ, बंदिश और गत एक ही चीज है। बंदिश क्या होता है, व्हेन वी हैव मेलोडी प्लस लिरिक्स, है ना, तेरी आली पिया बिना, ओके, ये वोकलिस्ट के लिए जरूरी है, वो स्वरों को नहीं गा सकते, अगर वो स्वरों को गाएंगे तो फिर तान और स्वरों में क्या ही फर्क रह जाएगा, है ना। तो वो लोग जब गाते हैं, कंपोजिशन बनाते हैं, तो कंपोजिशन जो मेलोडी स्ट्रक्चर उन्होंने बनाया, और लिरिक्स कवि को ढूंढते रहते हैं कि भाई कोई लिख के तो इसमें मैं बोलूंगा क्या, नहीं मिला तो वही सास, वही ननन, वही कुएं में डाल दिया, किसी ने कुएं से पानी निकाल लिया, वही चलता रहता है, ठीक है, लिरिक्स में। फिर इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट के लिए ये राहत है कि आपने जो भी बजाया, लिरिक्स हो भी तो आप तो बजा नहीं पाओगे, लिरिक्स तो आएगा नहीं। अगर सेम थिंग इफ आई प्ले, I have to play gamadani sa pa re sa ga re ma ga. So the composition which doesn't have lyrics, that is called gat. Okay? So हम जो भी बजाते हैं वो गति कहलाता है। इवन कंपोजिशन बजाओ तभी भी वो गति कहलाएगा, क्योंकि वो तो उसके लिए पता है कि जिसको पता है कि ये कंपोजिशन क्या, तो वो लिरिक को रिलेट कर लेगा। अदर लोगों के लिए तो गति। But I think you are trying to say that what is the difference between गायकीयम and the तंत्रकारियम? हाँ, जैसे like this ख्याल and ध्रुपद style. There are two more styles, okay, which is a gaikiyam and tantrakariyam. So that is if you are playing an instrument, you are trying to play as if like somebody is singing, okay, or as if you are if you are singing like a vocalist, if you are playing, or if you are playing the instrument like an instrument, okay, that is called, इसको इंस्ट्रूमेंटल बोलना चाहिए। बट पहले क्या होता था कि इंस्ट्रूमेंट माने सितार, सरोद, स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट ही थे जो राजा थे, तो इसीलिए जो भी इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीजें हैं उसको हम तंत्रकारी चीजें बोलते हैं। तंत्र माने जिसपे स्ट्रिंग है, स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट, ओके। सो देयर आर टू पार्ट, आइदर वोकलिस्ट लाइक दिस और आइदर लाइक एन इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट, ओके। तो उसमें भी बहुत सारी डिफरेंसेस आ जाते हैं। जैसे अभी किराना घराना को कोई फॉलो करता है, वो पूरा वोकल का घराना, ओके। तो उसमें जो लोग बांसुरी भी बजाएंगे, अगर आप दूर से सुनेंगे लगेगा कोई गा रहा है, अदर और इन अदर सेंस वो हर वो चीज दे विल ट्राई टू मेक एज अ वोकलिस्ट जो पॉसिबल, ठीक है। जैसे हम म से प जाना, विदाउट मीट जाना जी।
सर ये तानपुरा को बंद कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा सा और क्लियर आवाज आएगा हमें। सॉरी।
तो उसमें जो क्या कह रहा था, हाँ, जैसे हमारा फ्लूट में म से प में कनेक्शन कटता ही कटता है, ओके। बट इफ आई एम प्लेइंग दिस इन अ गायकीयम, वो नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि गाने में तो नहीं कटता है भाई, है ना। आपको अगर गायकीयम से बजाना है तो आपका म प जाना ही चाहिए उस तरीके से। देन यू हैव दिस थंब होल बांसुरी, ओके। सो वो तो एक जस्ट एग्जांपल हुआ, मतलब वो बांसुरी को या सितार को या जो भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजाएंगे ऐसा ही जैसे बजाएंगे जैसे हमारा एन राजन जी जो ऐसे बजाते हैं, लगेगा कि कोई गा ही रहा है, वायलिन सुन के लगेगा कोई इंसान गा ही रहा है, तो उसे कहते हैं गायकी अंग से चीजों को बजाना। और दूसरा होता है उनकी कंपोजिशन सब वोकल ही होता है, सब वोकलिस्ट से ही सीखा हुआ होता है, सब उसी तरीके से गाना तान कंपोजिशन सब बजाते हैं। और इंस्ट्रूमेंटल होता है वेर यू आर टेकिंग योर इंस्ट्रूमेंट एंड इट्स लिमिटेशन इन द कंसीडरेशन। ठीक है, अभी नहीं बजता म पद नहीं बजता है ना, तो हम जब भी बजाते तो म से प स्लाइड नहीं आती, ऐसा ही चलाता है। ओके, तो उससे उनकी कंपोजिशन में फर्क पड़ जाता है, उससे उसकी तान में फर्क पड़ जाता है, उसका प्रेजेंटेशन फर्क पड़ जाता है। अब जैसे कोई कभी कभी हम कंपोजिशन बजाते हैं सा प द म प रे ग सा ध सा रे ग, अभी ये कोई गाएगा तो कैसा लगेगा ना, वो साथ नमन फिक्स ही नहीं बैठेगा उसके अंदर। ठीक है, क्योंकि ये इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीज है। तो ऐसा नहीं कि अभी आप इसको गा नहीं सकते, गा सकते हो, लेकिन वो जो उसकी जो शार्प एजिस है वो गाने को अच्छा नहीं लगता। वहां पे यही सब चीजें चाहिए। तो आप उस चीज को बिलोंग करते हैं या आप ज्यादातर स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट या इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीजों को बिलोंग करते हैं, उनसे भी फर्क पड़ जाता है। सो द पीपल बिलोंगिंग टू द घराना इट इज फेमस फॉर इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स लाइक मयर घराना। ठीक है, तो हम जो चीजें बजाते हैं उसमें ऐसा नहीं कि गायकी बिल्कुल नहीं है, बट प्रायोरिटी हमारी इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीजों की है, इसीलिए तो हम जोर ज्यादा बजाते हैं, इस तरीके से बजाते हैं। या हमारी तानें थोड़ी इस हिसाब से, आप हमारा द्रुत कंपोजिशन सब देख लीजिए, वो कभी वोकल से इंस्पायर्ड नहीं होती। मध्य की कंपोजिशन वोकल से इंस्पायर्ड हो सकती है, बट व्हेन वी गो टू द द्रुत इट्स टोटली इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीज है ना। तो उस तरीके से भी दो और डिवाइडेशन है कि आप जो बजाते हैं वो गायकी से प्रभावित है या इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीजों से प्रभावित है। तो हमारा जो बजाना है वो ज्यादा इंस्ट्रूमेंटल है, इसीलिए हम फ्लूट में कुछ नहीं करते, जैसा है वैसा ही रखा है, जो चला आ रहा है भगवान के टाइम से। आई थिंक दिस इज द ओनली इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो आज तक चेंज ही नहीं हुआ। बाकी हर इंस्ट्रूमेंट में कुछ ना कुछ जुड़ा है, गया है, एम्पलीफाई किया है, कुछ ना कुछ तो तार जोड़ा है, तार काटा है, ये जैसे बना था तब से वैसा ही, ऐसा ही रहेगा। अगर हम इसको कुछ ऐसा करना है भाई इसमें वोकल जैसा कुछ करो, इसमें कुछ उसके जैसा करो, देन फिर इसमें ये सब करना पड़ेगा, जो कि नहीं करते। ओके, हाँ जी, नाट्य गीता, अच्छा अच्छा, एक आप कह रहे थे कि एक गायकी है, एक इंस्ट्रूमेंटल है, एक नाट्य है। अच्छा, कुछ आइडिया है आपके पास, कुछ है इसका डिटेल तो बताइए। मुझे लगता है नाट्य की जैसा शब्द से लगता है वो थोड़ा सेमी क्लासिकल म्यूजिक हो सकता है, लेकिन वो भी अगर अगेन वो इट विल बी इंस्पायर्ड थ्रू द वोकल ओनली, क्योंकि वो इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो है वो उसके वोकल को ही सपोर्ट करने के लिए होगी ना। ये सब जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट सोलो बजता है तब ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स उसमें ऐड होती है। जब आप एकम्पनी करने लगते हैं किसी को तो आपको तो फिर उसके हिसाब से ही चल रहा है। सो नाट्य में तो मेरे ख्याल से इंस्ट्रूमेंट आर देयर ऑलवेज एकम्पनिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट, तो वो मोस्टली वोकल को ही फॉलो करते हैं। ओके, तो देयर आर 4 विंग्स, ख्याल, ध्रुपद, गायकीयम, तंत्रकारी। ठीक है, ये चारों का एक दूसरे में कॉम्बिनेशन पॉसिबल है, इसके साथ इसका, इसके साथ इसका, इसका इसका सब पॉसिबल है। हम जो मोस्टली बिलोंग करते हैं वो ध्रुपद का इंस्ट्रूमेंटल वाले जोन में ज्यादा बिलोंग करते हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि ये जरूरी नहीं, ये भी इक्वली जरूरी है। इसमें भी कभी कभी बजाते हैं, ये भी कभी कभी बजाते हैं ना, बट हमारा जोन जो है ज्यादा इस तरफ पड़ता है। ओके, अभी आप किसी फ्लूटिस्ट को सुनोगे या इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट को सुनोगे तो सबसे पहला सवाल आपके दिमाग में ये आएगा कि वो ख्याल है कि ध्रुपद है। उसके बाद जो बजाने की जो पद्धति है, उसकी तान, कंपोजिशन, उसको सुन के समझ में आएगा कि ये गायकी अंग की तरीके से बजा रहे हैं या इंस्ट्रूमेंटल चीजों की तरीके से। तो वो अभी चीजें धीरे धीरे सेंस करना शुरू करिए, इसीलिए आपको सब सुनना चाहिए, है ना। ऐसा नहीं कि फ्लूट है तो फ्लूट में भी सिर्फ मजे गिराने वाला को ही फ्लूट सुनो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं। सबकी फ्लूट सुनो, सितार भी सुनो, तबला भी सुनो, वोकल तो खास सुनो, वो तो मेन चीज है। बाकी सब चीजें कहते हैं ना, गाना उत्तम बजाना मध्यम, वो सही बात। गाना गाएगा इंसान तभी तो उसको वो बजा पाएगा, अदरवाइज नहीं बजा पाएगा। ठीक, चलो अभी खाना सबसे ऊपर। यस, एनी क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द ऑनलाइन पार्टिसिपेंट्स?
नहीं सर, कुछ नहीं।
ओके, आपको समझ में तो आ रहा है ना, क्योंकि फिजिकली आप में बैठे तो मैं देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि आपकी एक्सप्रेशन क्या है।
नहीं सर, समझ में आ।
Okay, so we'll meet after nearly 1 hour. It's 1:28, so we'll try to make before 2:30. Okay,
ठीक है सर, ओके ओके, सेम लिंक ही रहेगा ना?
जी जी, सेम एवरीथिंग।
ओके सर, ओके
ओके सर।